Welcome back to another one. Yes, yes, yes. Guess who's on today? Today's guest is no other, if I can even speak correctly, the one, the only Phil. Phil's been training in speed racing, aka speed walking, for the last 16 months. He is an Olympic athlete and part of the USA traveling team. So today we're going to talk about how many miles he's got on his shoes, what that rubber looks like. Did he make him with a waffle iron? I'm not sure. Stay tuned.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, guys.
How you been?
Fine. It's been a while.
It has. It's been at least well over a year. I'd say that much. 2?
Yeah, it's been a few.
10 years. It's been a
Not
long
that
time.
many.
It's been a long time.
It's been somewhere between a day and 10 years.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how's it been going? What have you been up to? Tell us all the good things.
Am I supposed to talk about the speed walking?
I mean, we can get into that. We can save it for a little bit later if you want. It's up to. I mean, I'm okay.
I've also been into underwater BB stacking lately as well.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's a sport.
BB sacking?
Yeah, underwater
Underwater?
BB stacking. I was an alternate on the Olympic team.
Now, is that played in an
Sounds
Olympic
impressive.
pool or is that one of the oceanic games?
No, you typically do it in like one of those little blow up pools you get at Walmart.
Okay.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. That way you can return it when you're done.
Exactly.
It's like, get this shit out of here. All right, we're done.
They got the little fish that come in there and clean your toes too halfway through.
I mean, box it back up, just return it wet.
So so if you ever buy a open box inflatable
Hey!
pool from Walmart with a bunch of BBs in it, you know what it was used for.
Okay.
Are these anal BBs?
Now the real question is did those BBs float?
No, they're
Unlike rocks.
They're regulation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Spec.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, the Olympic teams, they don't mess around, baby.
Shit.
Yeah, you gotta get serious. Well, I don't know how serious they are now. Shit, I haven't watched the Olympics since '94. So
That's a long time.
I know they're every.
Was it
but
'cause of
there's only been 4
The
since,
Dream
right?
Team.
Yeah, mainly
Probably.
Dream Team. I remember that chick. Remember she broke her ankle on the beam. It was during. I mean, OJ was on at the same time. You had OJ. It was great to be alive.
You talking about Nancy Kerrigan coming in hot?
Yeah, it was great to be alive.
That was
in
the
90s.
ice skater, dude. That's,
Yeah.
You
she
had
got dealt with.
yeah, you had OJ at 60 Minutes, and then you had the Olympics,
Yeah,
And
what was
then-
Tanya Harding?
and then you could
That's
go
what it was.
listen to Nirvana. Are these guys gonna
Who was
make it?
Kerrigan? Wasn't she the one that got?
No, Nancy Kerrigan was the one that got the.
Oh, yeah.
got it in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
knee.
Yeah.
Oh, this
She,
big money.
she faked it, right?
I mean,
I mean,
I mean, I think those tears were fake. Sure.
I'm scared of the high beam. I would be scared of that fucking thing. It wasn't a high beam. What was it? The bounce.
we're talking about two different
Yeah.
sports.
Oh, you're talking about the
talking
ice
about the ice
skating.
skating.
No, I'm talking about the chick
She got
that did,
iced.
in '94 at the Olympics. She did the vault. That's what they call it. Remember? She jumped off and she had like the dykey haircut, the butch haircut.
Me too.
And no,
They're more aerodynamic that way.
True.
Nah,
Exactly.
only lesbians
And
can do
she fell and
Olympic
she
sports.
That's fair.
she fell and like claimed that her ankle was hurt, and then the coach was all like, I don't know how he's an Olympic coach. He looked like Ed Reed. Or not Ed Reed, Andy Reid. Sorry, there's too many Reeds.
So you're saying you can't be a black coach, Joe? Is this what's going on now?
Black
You can
buff
only play
coach
football.
taking out fucking receivers your whole life? No. But yeah, she's like, yeah, I can do it. And then I remember Bob Costas. Costas?
Costas, I think.
Yeah. He's got a hard name. It's a weird name. COSTA.
Where are you pulling all this fucking info from?
But yeah, because I remember watching it. It was like we just got done seeing OJ. It didn't fit. Must have quit. And then, all right, we're turning the Olympics on.
That's what I say to my condoms.
And she did the fucking vault. And yeah, she stuck it with 1 foot. She stuck a vault with 1 foot and won it for the Americans. It was like,
The thing
holy
is
shit. I've never
Thing
cheered
is
so
about
much
my
for
brain.
women's sports. I don't know why. Why are we cheering right now? But yeah, it was
It's a first for everything, Joe.
I can't believe you guys don't remember that.
I don't know why this fell out of my brain.
Remember the
I can
coach
tell
came-
you why.
She wasn't.
No one watched it.
She wasn't in your spank bank like me, huh?
That's probably true.
You know those coaches
Yeah,
are
you lay in that fucking.
taking them home. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. Maybe in China.
Bro, I mean, Wu-Tang Fever 0.20. It's coming. But no, I don't remember her trying to stick anything.
Yeah, you would. If I brought her up, you'd be like, if we had that nice 75-inch
Dude, I was like
TV.
9. With
Yeah,
no
so?
channels. We had like 2,
Doesn't
4,
mean
and
you're,
6.
doesn't mean you're done. Okay, you were poor. Okay, that's fair.
Fair enough.
Tune in to Channel 9. There's a breast exam on.
I still don't even have the Ocho, dude. Like, that's how poor I am.
I didn't even know what that was. Do you guys remember that porn channel though? That was on TV.
It's just all grayed
Cinemax,
out.
dude.
Yeah. Well,
Skinemax.
no, the one that was grayed out that you had to have like an old VHS tube box type TV, and it was called the Spice Channel on 61.
I think I know what you're talking
And
about.
This guy remembers too much about it, I think, dude.
And if you could fuck
I think
with
he's
the
getting his
contrast,
Spice Channel on his Olympics all kind of crossed a little bit.
If you could
She
fuck
landed on
with
one
the
leg,
contrast-
remember?
Yeah.
She got
I
big.
think that's a boob.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. You're like there was no sound because if you turn the sound on, it was just like, and then your parents would hear. But when they weren't home, you turn the sound on, you could just faintly hear her being like, and you're like, yeah. Over that.
They're over there just moving furniture. Like, you just can't tell it's a shitty infomercial.
What's your fetish? My fetish is just the noise that sounds like the whole time. Brings back memories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I caught my dad watching that channel once on the big TV too. Like me and my brother were in the room probably playing video games, and we just came out, and I know my mom wasn't home, and it was on that
Of
channel.
course she was.
And it somehow like my dad didn't even recognize us coming out. The channel just changed. Like he could hear it. Like that fucking the force. Like he just knew the kids were coming out and just channel check done. Now we're back on a different
Probably
channel.
smelt your
But we all
sweaty
know.
ass mouth breathing.
We all know
jackets
that
coming through.
We all
Like,
know
oh,
that
them the
channel.
boys.
If you've seen that channel once, you know it's in your brain. You're like, yeah.
See, my old man had the opposite thing where he would fall asleep.
With it on.
Yeah, with no, I mean, whatever's on, right? But he would always fall asleep in the chair. Be sitting there, all passed out, and you could talk to him, you could clap your hands in front of him, try to wake him up. He would not wake up. But the moment
Touch the remote.
you
Changed
touched
the
the
Cubs
remote,
game.
changed the channel. I was watching that.
Yeah.
I think that's an
Yeah.
old man thing. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
I had the same thing with my stepdad. He'd put on NASCAR, and then he'd be sitting in his whitey tighties, fucking in the recliner. Just,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, dude, who wants to watch these stupid ass cars go in a circle? Like, oh, how many more laps? 500. And
Right.
so you go to grab it. I'm watching that.
Oh, yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah.
And back to sleep you
Go to
guys.
your room. Yeah. They're probably dreaming about it. Yeah. It's weird. Yeah, my parents do the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, Dad, you can't even fucking hear anymore. But when I change the channel off the weather channel, God damn. God forbid if you
You can
change the
feel
weather
a
channel.
change in the atmospheric pressure.
It's just
His
an-
whiskers
an
start
old
picking up. There's
instinct.
Italian whiskers,
You'd have to
See-
you'd have
see
to come in the
where
room and you have to lift up their hip to get the fucking remote from under their ass. And
What does it vibrate?
and pull it out slowly, and then why am I trying to watch cartoons right now? I know he's just gonna wake up and yell, but fuck it, it's on the big TV. Because we had the little tiny TVs, they were tiny, kind of like our phones that we watch now. But I was like, finally I can watch like Rugrats on the big TV. So I turned on Nickelodeon. I was watching that. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And you felt like you were like on Mission Impossible, like trying to get that remote.
Yeah.
From underneath them.
Yeah.
Coming down on a rope.
Oh yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
And just like just slowly pulling it out.
We used to do that for Christmas.
Yeah.
Parents would lock all the presents up in the gun room, and then we'd go in there and open up the gun room and start looking at all the presents and
You
shit.
knew the lock?
We had a key, and so we
Took it to Walmart. Can you guys make this?
But we go in there and get our gifts out and then play with our gifts and then put them back. So come Christmas, oh, we got this. Oh, sweet. Damn. Oh, that game's not too good because we already beat it.
Oh, my God.
Got to take it back. Yeah, we little bastards.
Yeah.
But it worked. I mean, who knows?
Your poor mom. Why aren't they smiling at the gifts I got them?
This is shit. I don't care how hard you worked.
Fucking already beat this shit.
Yeah. This is so 6 months ago, Mom. That was back in the day though when the games actually mattered. You had to put 40 to 60 hours into it
totally.
because you couldn't just go get a new one. You know,
yeah.
your parents were going to spend $59.99 on a brand new.
There was
game.
no online
You bought a
buying.
bad one. If you didn't do your research, you're fucked.
Yeah, remember you had to buy the tips
You
and
had to
trips.
grind that
magazine.
one out till Christmas or your birthday.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, my kids now. I mean, they'll have access to this huge like game library. You know,
Oh, it's
that
fucking
I have
ridiculous.
attached to my profile.
It's like Spotify for
whatever.
music. Yeah.
You know, so I mean, and I have all
It's
these
my
kids
Pornhub.
games that have I'll set it so they can only look through like the certain games or whatever. But they'll have like 50 games to choose from, and they're just instantly bored. I feel like this.
That's
like
why,
when I was a
like-
kid, it's like like you said, it's like you had that one game and you'd play it for 50 hours, even if it sucked.
Oh, dude.
That's why we enjoyed Final Fantasy VII so much, because we knew that game was going to get us till next Christmas. Got on Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
I'm only on disc
4
one.
discs.
Like, how many hours? 100. Like, God.
Dude, I just remember my brother pausing every 10 fucking minutes to read the dumbass strategy guide. It's like, why did you buy this shit? And all the games had strategy guides. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I still have them.
Oh, yeah.
I have books of strategy
Dude.
guides.
A Final Fantasy VII strategy guide right now is $70
I have.
because they don't make it.
I have it.
Good, give it to me. I'm in the middle of playing that game.
No,
Yeah, they
I'm
only
gonna
printed
post
those
it up.
things for like one run, dude.
Yeah.
They never reprinted any of those strategy guides,
Yep.
so they go for a pretty decent amount.
Dude, for one of my Christmases, I think I was 13 maybe. I got a 64, and then I got
Hell
the
yeah.
game Mischief Makers, which all I had it bought on was just the cover art.
Yeah.
Like, oh, must be a pretty fun game. The game fucking sucked, and I was stuck with that son of a bitch for months until my mom felt so bad she wouldn't buy me another game.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so bad. It was like it wasn't even fun. I didn't even play my. Like, I tried
that's
to play
back
it, it was
too,
just
like
garbage.
when like console wars were an actual thing. Like
yeah.
today with Xbox and PlayStation, not a big deal. But like, I never owned a 64 because I was like, Nintendo's gay. I'm not buying that shit. I'd rather have my 32-bit PlayStation. At least I got Metal Gear Solid. Bitch, go play your Mario.
See, I'm a little bit older than you guys.
Then I play Mario Kart for hours at my friend's house. This shit's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say, dude, that's some bullshit
Yeah.
right there.
But like, you only picked one. Like your PlayStation new. You come back, you could smell the glitter of the Mario on you. Like what the fuck, Princess Peach's.
Well, that and the
clam
PS2,
all
you
over.
had to have both because of just certain games. You know?
I would
That
say the
was
play, the
war
PlayStation
going
was
on.
had more mature games. Obviously, the Nintendo's always the Mario geared cartoonish shit.
yeah.
And like Princess Peach, for I know, has never showed her tits. We all want that.
Only
Depends
fans.
on
We
where
all
you,
imagine.
where you go on the internet.
Only
Yeah.
anime. Yeah, right.
Bowser ramming her in the ass. But like the other games,
She's got to pop her toadstool out first.
the PlayStation
Jesus.
games had like Lara
Jesus.
Croft and fucking Metal Gear and all
Oh,
that's like shit adults played type. But
Well,
we
the
were still
64 was like a
Die
party
Hard.
console.
I remember my first PlayStation game was a dual CD game. It was Die Hard and Alien Trilogy. So it came as a package, so you could pick.
Wasn't
And you
Die
just-
Hard like a shoot like a?
It was 3 games in
game?
one. So it was 3 games in one. The first one. So it was all 3 movies before the other 10 came out. But it was like the first one was a top view, third person over the thing, and your goal was just a level, Nakatomi Plaza, and you'd kill all the terrorists in the level and just move up. But it had breakable walls and glass and shit. It was ahead of its time.
Shoot the glass.
And then like you're supposed to go around rescuing hostages if you can. Okay. And if the ones that you rescue, there was a bonus level. For every 10 levels, there was a bonus. You would go to the top of the roof and try to kill the helicopter. I don't remember ever beating that though. But the second one was an old arcade. It was just an aimer.
yeah, that's the one.
And
I
you
was thinking
shoot
of.
people up in the airport, and
Like a gun
and then the
and,
third one was a car because they drove a taxi in the third one, and you would go off jumps and hit helicopters and shit at the end. But it took forever to beat that game. That game took forever, but
it was
I
cool
remember
too because Sony had those light guns like the arcade.
Light guns, that's what I was trying to say.
They had like those light guns like in the arcade that you could plug in the back and the auxiliary port or something. I don't know how the fuck they work, dude. It's all mysticism
Magic.
to me. Yeah, straight up magic. But I remember playing Time Crisis with my buddy on one of those things. Dude.
oh yeah,
That'd be fun.
Splinter Cell.
Oh yeah.
You could light people on fire with a
That's
taser.
a game they need to bring back.
You just keep tasing them, and they would just catch on fire. Yeah, that game was.
They brought him back. Spoiler alert for like 6 years ago, but they brought him back in Ghost Recon.
Well, technically, Sam Fisher's also in Rainbow Six, the Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do
his
play a
character's
lot of
name,
Siege. You still play it?
Zero. Oh yeah.
I just bought it for my kid is 7 and he plays it.
Siege?
Yeah.
Really?
I was like, I'm not buying you this game Because not only you got to buy it, you got to build a profile and like do the thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not buying this for you because one, you can't just turn it off like Fortnite when you're done. Like this community is like built. Like if you turn it off, you're gonna get banned, bro.
Oh yeah.
And my little kid, my other kid who's 4, also he wants to do what Big Brother is like. Give me Siege. He'll fucking quit out, and then he wants to go on and play. It's like I remember going on trying to play one night because it's in my chair upstairs, and it's like you're banned for 3 days for leaving early. I was like, you fuck.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
so you still play it. It seems like it's picked back.
Very
Like
competitive.
there's a lot of streamers that keep it alive, like Jinxie, and is one, and that game is
There's a big, like this is like kind of the big year for it. It's like year 10.
Yeah, I noticed it's gonna be free. Coming in
yeah,
June.
well they're
Good thing you bought
kind
yeah,
of
I got kind of pissed.
kind of free.
Fuck.
So they've so some big changes coming to that game specifically. They are doing a free to play part of it, but it's only for quick play and what they call standard. But ranked.
But even if you do buy it, because I can't even play ranked, you have to be level 10.
Oh no, you have to be like level 50 or 60.
So like the game definitely does not want a bunch of fucking nubs coming in there fucking shit up. Like they take, which I'm kind of like, that's how I would design a game.
Yeah.
Like if you suck and want to just leave and quit, like bye.
Plus, it's designed.
You already
to be
paid
such a
the money.
Team-based game.
Yeah,
so you want somebody that knows what
know what the fuck they're doing.
They could do what they did in Gears and then just make your hitbox bigger.
There you go.
Those bastards, and not even tell you shit about it. Dude, I remember winning those games.
Oh, yeah.
Like we would win like 10 games in a row, and then all of a sudden we're getting fucking sniped, dude, through walls and shit. We were just like, the fuck, man?
Yeah. Like, who are these guys coming in all of a sudden and just running the table on us? Like, not even giving us a chance.
And we're like, there's no fucking shot, dude. There's no way.
That's when you have to put in your ticket that they're cheating. You know, actually fill something
Didn't
out.
mean
you know?
nothing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking games. I think we've talked about this before, but I think what turned me off on Siege is when they went from third to first person. It really turned me off because I was the last good third-person shooter.
Wow, because they tried to make it more realistic.
But here's the thing:
Siege is the most realistic game out there, in a sense. Kind of. I don't know if all the operators are true.
no,
ability.
I don't believe his skins.
There's other
No,
there's
not that.
other
Like, just
there's other
their-
games that
like
are way
their-
more realistic.
like
Dude,
their
with them stop
abilities,
and
like,
bandage
there's-
yourself and shit.
There's abilities where there's robots that blow up walls. I thought it was cool. It was cool because the way that I feel like you get better at Siege, and obviously you played it longer than I have, and correct me if I'm wrong, is finding new angles to attack. Positions.
I think that's one of the
'Cause you can
things
blow open
that's
walls
So
and-
interesting about that game is I can play the same map I've been playing for 9 whatever straight years. I've played the same exact map, played the same objective 1,000 different times, and then being able to discover. You can
A
still
new
discover
area.
some
Yeah, like a new peephole.
angle or new little weird strategy on how to attack an area or how to hold an area. That's what
Fundamentals of a good marriage right there. Always finding new ways to get in there.
Oh yeah.
I like to
New angles to attack.
Yeah, a little bait and switch. What?
I like too how it's like all the fucking operators look like they're geared out in tactical shit. Like, oh, they'll stop a bullet, but it's like 2 bullets, you're dead.
Well,
like the
I mean,
game
yeah.
is like
I mean, it still
not
has the same,
forgiving
it
at
still
all.
has the single bullet headshot mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if it's pistol from across the map through a wall.
Yeah. And there's nothing
dead.
cooler like you hear him coming through a wall because the sound in that game. And I bought special headphones for this game.
Oh yeah.
Because because I would watch a lot of Jinxie's videos. I'm like, how the fuck is he hearing shit? And so I dabbed into like the headphones he has, and like I've never really bought sound for any games I've ever had that were like headphones. Like it was always like I always had speakers and stuff to the ambiance to enjoy the sound and play. I never needed it. But as soon as I put these on, I was like, fuck. Looking around like, oh shit.
Scaring yourself.
I can fucking hear him coming
Oh,
over.
no, this is a game that
Yeah, and it doesn't even highlight your friends. So I don't even know what the operators look like. And a dude will be coming out of the door, and I'll fucking blast him with a shotgun. Oops, that's my own guy. I'm like, my bad.
Yeah.
Your kids are walking around.
It's not like a silhouette in like Counter-Strike where you can see where your teammates are and shit. It's like, it's real life. As soon as your teammate goes through the wall, like, he's gone. Or unless you have eyes on, you don't know where the fuck he's. That's why
There's
you
no
gotta
mark
talk.
over his head or anything?
No, you
Really?
can't see him. Like, he's out. There's nothing that tells you they're the team that you're on. So you just have to be able to talk and be like, hey, I'm right over here. And if he comes back through the door, you're like, oh, fuck. Like, yeah, I've
You'd
done
be
that.
finishing that game like, I got 20 kills.
I've done
like
that a
half of
few
your
times.
team.
I'm just, I just say, like, I'm just trying to build my stats because you don't technically kill them. You can revive them because it's your teammate, even though it's a shotgun point blank. So I would just be like, oh shit, and then I would revive them. Like, so then I get a revive point. I was like, yeah, I'm just building my stats up.
Right.
But no, it is a fun game. It's very technical, and I was like trying to tell my kid, like, there's no way you're gonna like this game. Coming from Fortnite to Siege at age 7.
No,
And he loves it.
not.
He plays the shit out. He's good at it because he's patient. My little one, he's a little different. He's just like, nah.
No, I
He's
think
4,
it's
though.
actually it's probably a pretty exciting time for if anyone wanted to get back into Siege,
that's
or
why
even start it for the first time. This new season that's starting in June, they're kind of rebranding Rainbow Six. They're changing it into, it's going to be called Siege X, and they're introducing a new game mode. It's like 6-on-6 and some a little bit more casual to try to help people like understand the fundamentals and the mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of excited. I'm not excited to really play that game type, but I'm excited that I think that game type is going to be able to onboard players a little bit easier into the game because you know at this point it's 72 operators.
It's so much.
There's
huge. Like,
to know how everything works together. It's got to be such a difficult game to get
It's fucking
into.
League of Legends all of a sudden, dude.
Yeah.
200 characters.
It's like hopping into World of Warcraft the first time, even though they're putting in one button now to do all your moves. But it's like, I did hear that from the major streamers that it's like it's supposed to bring more people to the community. It's supposed to be easier.
I'm excited
to
about
understand
that.
and
Yeah,
like that.
And
It's a
when you're
hard
talking about
game.
the sound too, like they're completely revamping all the sound. They're redoing all the graphics.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's 10 years in now. Don't you think they should be making a new game?
Well, so
I think
they've
this made a
decided
comeback, though.
they
Like, this game
decided
died,
that
but-
instead of like completely starting over, that they could augment the existing gaming
They're
experience.
just going to GTA it, just
Like,
continue it on
basically-
for another 30 years.
Yeah, like upgrade all the graphics.
Well, once you have a
sound.
system like that developed, dude, it's still working. So why reinvent it?
I feel
Call
like-
of Duty will repackage the same game.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
been
no,
the same.
You know, basically
Yeah,
like a
that's
DLC.
garbage.
Yeah, basically a DLC. And I think that with the Siege team, they've always been running bare bones, but really dialing in the product that they have.
No, it's
It's-
good.
it's-
I just figured, you're at that point now, right, where the new consoles are potentially coming out within the next year or two. Everyone sees what GTA is doing right now. So you're just kind of
GTA
like,
sucks though.
Hey,
you
dude.
say that, dude.
Do you see that new trailer?
That game
And
is
that
fucking-
thing that's gameplay off of the PS5. I mean, what do we need?
I
a
mean,
new
they
console
sold
right now?
over
I
a
don't think
billion
so.
in 3 days when the first one came out. And that was on 360.
Yeah.
So,
I think it has a huge fan base that follows it. I'll give them that.
Dude, I
but
play
it's-
the
it's
shit
not
out
a
of it.
good-
I love
Dude,
that game.
did you see the graphics on that second
Yeah.
trailer?
Oh
You
my
could see a
God.
fucking reflection in the dude's glasses.
Dude,
that
you
that
see
shows a reflection off of another car. That
Yeah.
shows a reflection of the environment.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
saw.
beer
I saw
moving inside the bottles and
Yeah.
stuff.
I
That
saw-
game is
I
going to
s-
be epic.
I saw a meme when like GTA 3 came out and it was like, shit, I was broke and couldn't afford a computer to run it. And then it was like GTA 6 came out. I'm still broke and can't afford it.
Right.
Like running because it has it's doing what Cyberpunk does. Like I think Cyberpunk has an AI engine in it that builds the graphics as you go, kind of thing. It just generates. I haven't really looked into this technology to see if it's true or not, but I feel like the AI generates. It's supposed to generate what's rendered. So there's no more rendering for a video because that's why it takes so long to load that fucking game. Like God forbid you turn it off and want to start it for the first time. You might as well go jerk off and come back 30 minutes later and finally you have to
30
load.
minutes.
Yeah, I
That's good.
think he's being generous.
I
with
turned
that.
back around, like, damn, I got 28 minutes
Yeah.
left.
Now I gotta make a sandwich.
Yeah,
exactly.
so because it's rendering the whole city
Gotta
at
do
real
something
time. So
important now,
if there's a
30
helicopter flying way over there, it's rendering that for you, and you never see it. And that's what they put into their game. But I think the AI does it better.
Yeah.
And that it can turn different shit off in the game to populate what the graphics you're seeing.
But yeah, focus
and
all
then-
the horsepower.
but
on
still
what you're looking
know
at,
that
not
that
what
helicopter's
you're
over
not.
there. Yeah.
That makes
kind of thing.
that makes sense.
And I think because of AI, that game's getting better, but it's still boring.
See, I think you missed out on the whole GTA experience, though, because on top of doing whatever you wanted in that thing, the big open world map, like racing, like you and I were part of. We had like 16 people and they're all friends. We all knew each other, just screaming around the map, dude. There was nothing better than that because everyone's enticed in their own way of playing that for and that's just a race, let alone like their online like team deathmatch stuff is some of the best mechanics for like a third person shooter game that they have. The guns respond well, the mobility of the players.
I understand that. I'm not saying
which makes me believe.
I'm not saying the mechanics in the game are bad.
I bet you they do a little Fortnite and they bring a fucking battle royale.
I'm saying
to the new GTA. I bet that pops up.
The online of the game has always been trash, unless not trash in the fact that the mechanics don't work, but in the fact that there's no starting area. There's nothing to build to. There's like, what are we doing? It's very like you're thrown. It's kind of like what we were just talking about Siege. You're thrown in the middle of this with 70 operators. You haven't
played it that much.
I've played the online.
The first couple years it was garbage.
When you play an online experience, it should at least tell you. Like I remember getting Siege for the first time, playing it when it first came out, and it wasn't as informative as it is now. You didn't have to pass training. You just go right in and start playing. Now you have to pass training. GTA is like that old school where it's like you're just thrown in the mix and here comes a guy with C4 and blowing your ass up. Like, well, this is cool.
It was fun.
I'm just
saying you don't, the fact it's not guided.
There's no online gameplay to it. There's no point to it. So it's like the point of the game is.
But that's its style.
There's 90% of the game is put in single player and then 10% is multiplayer. But if they fix the multiplayer,
I think you're kind of saying too that it's not competitive.
There's really no competitive.
Yeah, because you zone in. Some asshole's already got a rocket launcher.
Yeah, you're zoning out.
But that's the sandbox aspect.
It's a sandbox.
I mean, if you're in the
actual, but the thing is, there should be
there are death matches. There are heists.
Yeah, I understand that, but there should
races. There are whatever. Like, there's all kinds of aspects to that fucking
but
game.
you can't even get to those zones because you're getting blown up.
It's not even a zone. It's off your fucking controller. You click menu. What do you want to play? That done. Well, it's not. You got to go find some guy suck his dick and he gives you a hot rod. And now you can race around the fucking map.
All I did was fucking menu quit.
That's what I mean. You never put time into it, you fucker.
Stupid. I think you guys are.
Bring back Borderlands.
I think it's like.
Where's it at?
You're holding on to it like you hold on to Star Wars. I think it's a bad game.
Oh, here we go.
I'll be the villain. Here we go. I just think GTA is not a good game. It's not. I'd rather play Borderlands than GTA.
That new Borderlands looks kind of.
Don't even fucking say it.
Looks kind of sweet. Not gonna lie.
Like there has
amongst your own individual opinion, you got to keep that to yourself because on this podcast we only shit on Borderlands because it's all about the comments here at 3 Shots Podcast. Yeah. Where you at,
Fuck
fools?
Your Borderlands.
Fuck your Borderlands bullshit. Shove that right up your ass.
I'm with Joe though. That Grand Theft Auto sucks.
Borderlands 2.
Thank you.
Oh, fucking
Borderlands 2
from one gamer to another.
Amazing though.
1 and 2 are good.
2 was one of the funniest games I've ever played. Dude,
I don't mind
Handsome Jack, the villain. So freaking hilarious in that game.
The movie didn't do too well.
I never watched it.
They straight up marveled the entire franchise. They were just like, how far can we push the kooky, funny bullshit?
Right.
You know, and then people were just like, dude, they're like, we've had enough.
Yeah, 2 was 2. They balanced it perfectly on the second one.
Yeah, they did no justice with that movie. That movie was straight up garbage.
Oh, we knew that fucker was dead on arrival, dude. It has Kevin Hart in it, dude.
Yeah, I don't watch it.
Instant flop.
Anything with Kevin Hart.
Right.
Well, it's Kevin Hart playing Kevin Hart, and then we got fucking Jack Black playing Jack Black in every fucking Jack Black film. Cool.
I like Jack Black though.
Fuck him too, dude. Don't care.
Shots fired.
Hey, but you're from Chicago, right?
No.
No, fuck.
I have. Okay.
Yeah.
I technically have lived in Chicago when I was a kid.
You're a White Sox fan?
No, I was raised a Cubbies fan.
Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, well,
I know you're a Cubbies fan.
No, yeah, my dad's side of the family is all from North Chicago.
Deep mafia roots, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
I figured as much. That's how you got into the Olympic Games. Yeah. You just got to know a man to pay a man to pay a man.
Hey,
so,
it's who you know. Right?
We all know the white smoke has been blowing. We got a new pope.
Oh yeah, Da Pope.
Da Pope.
Da Pope.
Da Pope. I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, come on, Da Pope.
Dude, I was just thinking like American from Chicago, Pope Vinny.
Yeah.
Coming in. There's going to be cold cuts all over the fucking Vatican.
Oh, yeah.
You want cold cuts?
Just get that fucking gabagool.
Yeah.
Hey.
Where the fuck did gabagool?
Hey, we got some hot dogs in here.
Yeah.
Like,
Has he
Said no mustard.
Have they put him on a microphone yet? Have we
Oh,
heard
I
him
don't
talk?
know.
Dude.
Yeah,
I really hope
he did the first mass.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Was it?
Probably just a reset.
It just beeps.
Yeah.
As long as everything's still good, we're good.
As long as it's on.
It just went no SD card dark.
Yeah, it just says that. Is it dark?
Yeah.
The camera's
It's
out?
playing with my feelings, dude.
Don't scare me like that.
It looks like it's like in
Fishlands.
no, it's like dark, man. I don't know. It's showing me, but it's fucking dark. Like, what do you want?
Oh. Like we can see you?
No, you can't see it.
Oh,
right now,
yeah, we'll
dude.
fix it.
No one needs to see my fucking face, anyways, dude. They already know.
That's all right. You know, I mean, you start talking about the Pope, and Jesus is like, not today. He's going to smite you down. Right? Get it in there.
I just think it'd be just balling, dude, if he came out with a ball peen hammer with like crucifixes on it or something, dude.
Got nails in one basket and fucking pieces of wood over in the other one. No, what he says, come to me and I'll put the ball in your hand. Boom! Just slams it in. I'll be down
Yeah,
with
you
that.
owe me 3 points on that loan.
Boom! Probably is. You said the Pope.
Dude, there's a fucking
The Pope.
there's a gremlin in it, dude.
Yeah, I wonder how that Vatican's going to look. You're going to see everything's now going to be changed to just straight gold. You know, everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
No more tile, gold.
We already have that in America, dude.
Yeah,
Trump Tower, baby. Got that marble and that gold.
Yeah, but he's going overseas, homie. He's going to be living in the big house.
Did you see Trump's tweet about it, man?
Make religion great again. Let's go.
We had a wonderful talk with the Pope. We did. It was great. Tremendous. No one talks to
One
the
of the
Pope
best
like I
talks.
do. No one talks to him like I do. It's so good, dude.
Somebody had to pay for his campaign. What?
Hey,
That's the conspiracy theory right now, is that he was installed because of
really?
Donnie T.
Well, we took the House, we took the Senate, now we took
to the Vatican, baby.
That's right. All three.
That's called a full sweep.
Yeah. Let's go, baby. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
No, I think he's trying to broker a deal right now to hide those Epstein files in the Vatican, dude.
The Vatican vault.
Yeah, the Vatican vault.
Like, dude, that room
got
is already
everything in there.
fucking tits to ass full. We got no more room.
Yeah. No, it's,
got no
it's
more
like
room.
the
It's right
it's
next
like
to all
end
the
of
other pedophile
Raiders.
shit.
It's like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, you know, that
Yeah.
gigantic warehouse. This is-
Right.
With all the numbered boxes.
Imagine being the asshole that has to go through and consolidate all the paperwork into a fucking-
Inventory.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What did Father Two Fingers do? Father No, what about him?
Yeah, that's a hard one to come back from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's American, but you're still like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about this, guys. It's a hard one to keep getting up and going every Sunday, too, for that one.
Well, it's either the
How you guys
American or
doing
the
over there with
Filipino
the-
are leading the charge,
the
right?
Baptist. How the Baptist doing?
It was a black guy, an Asian guy, and like a
Filipino,
white guy or
yeah.
something, a Filipino guy, and people are not happy right
DEI
now.
in the Vatican
yeah,
going down.
people are not happy right now, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I think it's great. I think it's hilarious. But same time, I was actually going to wear so when you get baptized, when you're Catholic, I don't know if you guys are Catholic or not. I mean, you might be
Yeah.
from being from Chicago.
Yeah, he has to be.
You have to be.
My dad.
So
is
they
Catholic.
give you they give you a sash, which I thought about wearing, and like it has like the Holy Trinity on it and something else. But there's also like they give you a candle, and I think you're supposed to. It says on the candle the instructions you're supposed to like I think light it on your next like after you've been a year like your annual baptism or whatever.
To get the gerbil out.
I still have it in the box. I never really lit it, and I thought about like bringing it out today and then like wearing the fucking sash. I still have the
You
cross.
never
they gave me.
finalized your baptism then.
Yeah, I never got
Right
my
here.
fucking.
Three
I
shot
never
podcast.
got my. I never finished communion, so I can't eat the dude, and I never fucking.
They call that communion service for you.
I never.
Except for
I never
communion,
got
now
my
it's going to
rose.
be an Italian beef.
I was so fucking mad. I remember being so goddamn mad because my brother got his rosary beads, and I wanted.
Where'd they
mine.
go, Joe? Where are they at
I
today?
wanted mine. I was like, "Where the fuck are mine?" And they're like, "Well, you got to do your communion stuff." And blah. Well, I was like, "Jared didn't fucking do that shit. He was like 4 and got his beads."
See,
I
this
want
is
my
probably
beads.
why.
you think
this
a
is probably
4-year-old
why
lit a
you're.
candle?
Yeah, that motherfucker. I got baptized at 4. You're supposed to get baptized when you're born. I remember going to the thing. And
This is
being
why his dad
baptized.
took him out of Jersey, because he knew he was going to be a snitch. Well, Jared didn't do it. Instantly just ratting people out.
Just folded on
know?
at 3 years old. Fuck,
You don't
dude.
rat people out in this family. Fucking oops.
Say the Godfather. Don't ever come between family. I've been told that once and twice in my life. But no, I was like, because it goes off your birth date. So he was born in November, so he got black beads. But me being born
He did.
me being born in, I think, December, I get like
Those are
diamond-
larger than your average beads, man. Let me tell you.
diamond
They
colored
hurt a
beads.
little bit more.
I think
Yeah.
the rosaries are different based off your birth month. I think.
Really?
I believe. Yeah, they're
I
not
don't,
all
I
black.
don't know about all that.
Well, I know. Just kidding. I don't know.
You didn't even light your candle, dude. You don't sound like
didn't
that
light
much of
shit.
an aficionado on the subject.
I don't even know the Lord's Prayer anymore. Hey, cold cuts. Hey, yeah, give me some pastrami and fucking
Old style.
Yeah, that'd be so hilarious if you came out.
So you want it wet?
Extra wet.
Just did.
Still talking about Sandy's over here, bud? What's going on here?
Dip that beef
Roads are
sandwich.
getting a little sweaty.
I was all like, yeah, you could shut up with the shut up. I was like, it's perfect. Fucking guy from Chicago, American, the Pope.
I was a little surprised, yeah,
That's awesome.
when that was announced.
I didn't think Americans could be the Pope. I didn't think.
Well, the
Well, it
last
is the
dude was
first.
from Argentina or something, right?
He was the first American pope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
Was he Argentinian or he's South African or
The
something?
Pope, the
No,
Pope,
it was from South
yeah.
America.
and the Pope claims to be the only person that God talks to, right? Because I believe if God talks to you, you blow up, right? And like you can't.
He's like God's conduit.
Exactly. So he knows it was. So it's like it's a big deal over there, right?
Yeah,
It's a big deal, I guess, anywhere.
it's a big deal for Catholics.
Yeah, for the church it is.
It's a big deal for the other religions too, because it's like, hey, yeah, you know, we got a pope. Talks to
All
God.
right, here's the deal. Have you guys ever, speaking of the whole Pope thing,
I was gonna say, okay, hold on here. I'll let Phil go first.
have you guys ever done the deep dive into the line of the Pope?
How so?
Like
Okay.
the
Yeah.
names of them.
Okay, so no, no,
Like-
but so I don't remember.
Well, what's the?
I
What do you
don't-
mean?
So
This is new to me. What does
the line of the
mean?
Pope? Like
The bets. The bets
No,
on
no,
the
no, 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 no. Meaning like
Over under.
Like, who's
Meaning-
gonna? Hey, is Vinny gonna get
I
in
told
there?
you.
Hey.
200
like
on Pope
the
Francis.
Pope, the lineage of the Pope. Okay, so there was a certain time in the Catholic Church. This was hundreds of years ago, where they did some math and determined when the end times were going to be, and they also determined how many more popes they're going to have.
Yeah.
And
It's in the Vatican
it's
itself.
in the Vatican itself. I think in the Sistine Chapel or somewhere
in the top of the building,
Yeah, they
around
have,
a ring,
They have the
is
murals.
is
for
all of the popes.
Yeah. By
And,
name.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've heard of this.
there was one slot left.
Yeah.
For this new pope. So basically, this is the last pope according to the pope line of the pope.
He better be fucking
And
getting in
so-
that Pope mobile real tight.
So
son.
basically,
real
their
tight.
claim is, this
Is that
pope
thing
will be
meteor-proof?
the last
Yeah.
pope before the end times.
The version that I heard is the Vatican has a book written by a prophet in 1500 BC that the book predicted every name of the pope, but I figured the popes they take different names, right? Or the same name. So Leo the
They
14th.
get-
Well, that's why they
get
take the
assigned
name, yeah.
they get
Yeah.
assigned
So,
the name,
but so like the guy predicted every pope up to Pope Francis, and then the last one was a silhouette of a pope. They didn't know, but that was supposed
Shadow
To
Pope.
be, it's supposed to be
the shadow pope.
the end of times pope.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, it's true.
I mean, it makes
there
sense. He's
are-
from
there are-
Chicago.
There are what 4 or 5 wars going on right now. So I mean,
No, is it just peace right now with Pakistan?
and the two countries that attacked each other do have nukes.
Could just be the I don't know, ran out of fucking room.
No, Trump woke up this morning.
Oh, tell you what, we're not going to make it that long anyways. So we'll just say that last Pope up there is going to be the last one before end of times, because I ain't building this motherfucker again.
Okay, do yourself a favor. Sometime go to like the YouTube or something and look up the guards at the Pakistani Indian
Shit's so funny,
border.
dude.
They look awesome.
They do this like weird bird show.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
Dude, they
Oh,
do the
cuck
the
dance.
craziest
It's
stomp
fucking
move.
ridiculous.
Are they fucking
just
best
stomp at
friends?
each other. They just stomp at each other. They got this little like freaking.
It's like
hair
Arrested
thing.
Oh, it's like a
Development.
peacock. Thing.
Oh yeah, they are literally
literally
acting
peacocking.
Like birds. Yeah,
It's
that's
like Arrested
awesome.
Development when they
Yeah.
do the chicken dances.
Hey man, that's what happens when you can't filter your water.
Do you even know what a chicken sounds like?
You get shit for brains. You just fucking peacock out. Hey, to be honest with you, I'm on Pakistan's side.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a side, like, yeah, they're fucking look what India does to their fucking natural resources. Like, get them out of here.
Well, dude, Daddy Trump stepped in this morning and brokered a peace deal with them. You didn't see that shit?
Nah, I think they should drop a couple.
That
nukes
tweet
on
came
India.
in, dude.
What happened is now that he's got his boy up in the Sistine Chapel, he's like, listen, I now have all the American power
and the holy
I
power.
have all the Catholics. So where do you want to go with this?
Dude,
I can drop them holy bombs if you want.
You know how sometimes
The
you end
holy
up.
grenade.
You know how sometimes you end up on the wrong side of YouTube. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
by mistake.
Yeah,
I know.
I
You're
ended up on
you're
this
flipping
video.
Through, you're just
yeah.
watching how s'mores are
I ended
made,
up on this
and
video the other
there's
day,
titties
and it
all
was
of a
a
sudden.
TED talk.
That's a good one.
This it was a scientist doing a TED talk where she was talking about
Wait, it was
an
wait. You said
analysis.
scientist and she.
I
Already
know.
don't believe.
All right, all right. Maybe it wasn't a real TED talk.
Stickman, pull up the
I'm
facts.
just kidding. No, it's definitely a TED talk.
And she was talking about like some study
Ned
about
talk.
like people who defecate, like in nature, not use a toilet, and it was something like 65% of the world's population that poops outside is all concentrated in rural India.
And that's being conservative, too. It's like the
they're-
numbers are really like around 70%
It was
or
like
something.
it was just like it was like saying something like there was like
I remember.
Well, that's the scary
My
thing.
brother-
however
one-
many million
my
people
brother
in
was telling
India,
me-
which is larger than the population of the United States.
Yeah, if they were wealthy and had
defecate
technology, we'd be fucked.
My brother was telling me like he's like I'm gonna go like when he was in his like go gung ho chemistry shit and one of his friends was from India and he's like I'm gonna move to India and I was like the minute you step into and breathe that air you will die. You're not going to India, bro. Like
Have
you
you-
gotta get 10 vaccines. Like
Have you
all
seen
kinds
that
of
video
shit.
going around that just like this made the rounds like in the last 48 hours of there's a sewage truck just dumping raw
Yeah,
sewage into
yeah.
the river and downstream about 25 feet is a dude grabbing the water and bathing in it.
Yeah. So
Just downstream like 20 fucking feet, dude.
I believe.
Sorry, Hokan.
I believe in.
Fuck, dude.
I believe in that humans are alienated by right, no matter what country you're into, to clean water and fresh air, like at least those two. And if you're a country like our country's so saturated with fucking bureaucrat shit and paperwork that luckily we have resources, whether you believe in recycling or not, and if they dump it in the ocean, but luckily our streams are clean.
It says we do.
Like I could drink out of our stream and maybe contract Giardia, but like when you have other nations out there that don't play by the rules and don't follow shit, I'm gonna root for the nation that is trying for its people to be better. Like I don't care if
Well,
like,
they've spent billions of dollars
honestly,
too, Joe, trying to fix some of these
the
places and like give
meteor
them
that
trash
needs
systems.
to hit in India. Like I don't give a shit about the Taj Mahal. I don't want to go. I heard it's you got to step over human feces to get there, and all this other shit. Like I don't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah.
It's just get rid of it by. So I was kind of happy that India was at war because I was like maybe they'll get. It's like a methane bomb. All you gotta do is light a match, just throw some napalm,
Just cleans the whole
just blows it all up. But I was like, I think like countries, and I hate it when everybody that left or right side blames like climate change all the time, and it's like you're never gonna have.
It becomes a problem because
You're
it's
never gonna-
warmer and they can smell the shit more. Like, oh, God damn, it was cold.
Even if climate change is real, you have to get every 209 sovereign nations on board or whoever's out there
Exactly.
doing shit, and they're not.
Yeah,
gonna
dude, thank
do it.
God they banned straws, and then you look at these fucking rivers over in some
like-
of these other countries
It's
with
like
metric tons of trash in
why
it.
did the first world countries have to make a step forward, even though we're the ones that are the cleanest? But
Well,
I know that
'cause we got the money, son.
I know that we also exploit the third world countries. Like I
100%.
know there's cobalt mines. We're not digging up shit here. Fuck that mine. Like
Well,
bullshit.
according to
have it.
25 years of statistical analysis, one of the most deciding factors in fixing "quote unquote" climate change is raising the GDP of countries. Poor countries they don't have the systems to dispose of their or recycle their trash, and so the poorer they are, the more
it's
CO2
horrible.
that their
Like,
country emits. Like
there's
The funny thing is, like, just saw something on this that said over the last 25 years, we're actually the coolest that we've ever been. But everyone's talking about how much warmer we're getting.
That's why they changed it from global warming to climate change,
exactly.
Aaron.
No, it's
But the
just
thing is,
fucking
that
stupid.
there's got to be like like what he was just saying. There's a fine line too about what we try to impose on developing nations, because if we try to impose these certain standards and regulations about you can do this and you can't do that, and that it actually impedes these developing nations from actually developing and growing their society. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not denying that the alphabet organizations of the government take advantage of other countries by far, and they try to, like here. I mean, I can't even take a shit out in my own yard probably, and I'd probably get fined 10 different ways. But like, I know
Property taxes would be going up from you building those pyramids in the backyard.
It's like I understand that like maybe a lot of the issue and concern might be due to 4 or 5 world powers implying their power on the weaker nations. I get that. Yeah, like we're not gonna for everybody to have a cell phone, we have to have cobalt. We have to have these rocks which is fucking rocks float and do fucking if rocks can make your phone work, they can definitely float in my opinion. So, but it's like we're not gonna dig that shit up here. We're not gonna go to the Grand Canyon and start excavating shit there. We're not gonna go out into Montana and do that shit because one, it's too expensive. Because we have systems in place that protect you. Be like, hey, you might die doing this, but here's your insurance, here's your policy, here's your pay. But if you want to make a phone or do any manufacturing, I'm going to go over where they still allow slavery and stuff. There's more slavery today than there was back when we had slaves in America.
Oh yeah,
that's fucking insane. Like it's crazy, and nobody gives a fuck. And then they try to protest on it on the device that was made by slaves that is dug up in Africa to get their fucking phones to work and be like, look at me being peaceful or green earth today or whatever. It's like, you don't know, it's a fucking hypocritical.
No, it's just that and I think what it is, humans just need conflict. They need something. So we live in the most cush, easiest freaking time to be a human in the history of humanity.
Yeah.
And so we have to make up shit to be pissed off about because we don't have
Fair
to
point.
struggle every single day to find food or water, So
yeah, I have a sticky note that I have on my bureau.
How sticky is it?
That it says,
Started out as a piece of
fucking
paper.
sticky.
It's anywhere near
It was a
that.
page of a
it's
magazine.
Yeah, that's
little-
Sports Illustrated, man. It's a real sticky right now.
Like those Maxim magazines at Walmart. Ew. But no, I have little like quotes, and one of them is on there is like, if you take a shower twice a day, you're one of the richest person on the planet
In the history of humanity.
in humanity.
Not
Over
just-
kings.
not
And
just
drink
now,
that
but
shower water,
in
too.
the history of all humans.
I could go in there and take a shower and film this whole podcast in the shower.
Just let that bitch run,
there
dude,
are-
just to prove a point.
There are children out there that will never experience hot water in their life
Yeah.
or a shower. And it's like, I think,
Oops.
But I'm going to
that's why-
complain because you don't call me the right pronoun.
and going,
yeah. How nice has the fucking world got, huh?
Yeah, and I'm looking at you, Boise. Like they just made the pride flag of
Yeah,
fucking,
fuck them.
a fucking state flag so they can fly at the Capitol.
What?
Yeah, because the
City of Boise.
The feds
The
came
city
out
of
and
Boise,
said that you
yeah.
can't
City of
fly any other flags besides the American
There's
flag
a-
on
or the
Capitol.
state- or
There's
the
an
state-
Idaho,
Capitol
there's an
buildings.
Idaho law. I think it's a letter and 2 numbers. I forget what they're called, but it's like you cannot fly a flag on government property that isn't these flags. So they have a list of flags, but Boise passed it where the pride flag is now the city. It's the city of Boise's flag.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And I was thinking, like,
You just got to change everything, huh?
it's like if you listen to like Chappelle's show and his rants, or not his show, but like his topics, what he talks about in his comedy is it's like the only reason that minority group is getting ahead is because there's white people in it, in my opinion.
It's white women.
yeah.
yeah,
Karen's out
that's-
here.
That's it. It's like It's like
Sorry,
That's why
people
like
of color for white women.
yeah,
We apologize.
they're fucking. We tried not
They're
to
gonna
get them
do
to vote.
they're gonna do a fucking study 100 years down the road and be like, wow, like we thought slavery was bad with all these white men oppressing all these black individuals as slaves, but
It's
it was
like-
really the Karens of the 2000s that did way worse.
The actual
It's
villains.
like let's take it
way
let's-
worse in
Let's
history.
take a concept out of it, but let's just say like, hey, your skin is purple, and you've been trying to fight for.
I mean, I got a part that
you've been
is.
trying for equal rights forever.
So I'm
right?
like,
Yeah.
And you
1/16
still don't
Cherokee,
have it
1/16
against the
yogurt slinger.
said the green people that have been saying you don't have these rights forever, but now the green people are transitioning into fucking blue people, and that
See, if you play GT Online,
your
you
color's
already know.
been your color's
Already
been
know.
trying to fight for equal rights for hundreds of years. In fact, we've had wars and shit over this, and now they get a flag, and they're in the top of the class of like what matters.
The oppression Olympics.
Exactly, and it's because there's
Could be your new sport.
and it's in my opinion, it's because and not to
speed walking, underwater baby stacking.
and it's in my opinion is because white people can transition. That's the only reason why they're at the top of the list of minority groups right now, and I feel like that's why other minorities hate them. It's because like, hey guys, we've been oppressed for years. You can wait your turn, kind of thing. And they're like, nah, we're jumping in front first. We got our own fucking flag, and that's why I don't represent or care. Like, I don't give a fuck if you want to be a girl or a guy or be a fucking furry or do whatever you want. Just don't fucking impede it on my life where I have to see shit. I don't do it to you. You know, I don't put my fucking shit out there.
Well, you do once a week.
You choose to listen though. Like you don't have to
Yeah,
listen.
you don't like it, then
now I got to
listen.
drive by the Capitol and see a fucking. You took the rainbow. Now I turn my back on rainbows. Like I don't even fucking look at a rainbow.
Well, if you look
Well,
at
you're
it,
don't buy
colorblind, so
Skittles
you don't even know what the
anymore.
fuck colors are in the
fucking
rainbow.
rainbow you talking about?
No, it's just gray and opaque.
well, if you look at it deeper too, the rainbow was originally a symbol of God. It was the promise from God after the flood. So it's been co-opted now for,
Right.
what it's co-opted
Yeah.
for. So
Yeah, whatever you need.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just my view. I think you just gonna wait your turn. Also, I was asking my wife. I was like, "Hey, you think we can give the kids steroids?" She's like, "No, you fucking psycho." I'm like, "Why?"
give them creatine.
Other parents are giving their kids hormone blockers. Why can't I give my kids hormones to make them better?
There you go.
He's all lifting plates at 9 years old.
This is how you're just fucking jacked. Why not?
Joe's
Baby
out-
stacks
Joe's
is at
out here
135.
playing-
Just
Stacks for your racks, babe.
Why is it that I can say if I had the same conversation with her or any other like person that's pro trans that it's okay to block your kid's puberty development, but I can't give my kids steroids?
can't roid them out.
You want to boost them.
It's still a hormone. It does now. Steroids are so good that there's no side effects. I feel like there's no back acne and none of that wife beating rage anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well, and if
know
they're going to
for-
be gay anyways, who cares about those?
And if steroids if steroids are beneficially healthy for you, which I feel like they are, why wouldn't you take them and make them legal? Like
There's still downsides to steroids.
like-
I feel like
That's
I
my
just,
argument
No,
with
I
the
feel like
fucking
I just
people-
ended up on that weird part of YouTube, weird Joe Rigoli TED Talk.
We go over everything here, unfortunately. You never know.
if steroids were legal, would you give them to your kid or yourself?
I'm on them right now.
I mean, technically, aren't they legal if they're prescribed from a doctor?
Yeah, TRT is testosterone
Yeah.
replacement. So if you could, which I honestly want to,
Deca still ain't.
but like if you could take testosterone, would
Take
you?
all the best shit from us.
know.
I mean,
Fuck.
If
it's a natural hormone in your body.
Yeah, I mean, this is really weird. This new thing about men's testosterone levels, being the lowest in recorded history, and
I think it's because
Water's making the frogs gay.
bringing the frogs gay.
I think it's because fighting made it more mainstream.
Yeah.
I think it's more out there to make women involved. It used to be just betting on the biggest.
I think it's
I
always
blame
been a
white
thing.
women.
It's always been a fucking thing. It's just now that you can go and look up professional fighting sports, there is no more of the guys being like, "Oh, I'm tough. I kick your ass," and then they get dealt with by Poindexter over there, who's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, being like, "Oh, now you can't just go and mouth off anymore because you never know. You know,
That's true.
I feel like if you want
I've always been gay.
if you want to take
since birth,
hormones
so
to turn yourself into a woman, you should be able to take hormones that
turn you
help,
more into a man.
Turn you into a manly
to
man.
help you. Yeah, that help. That's what.
But
they're-
if your nuts
that's
shrink
what
in the
they're gi-
process,
but
are you
that's
more
what
of a
they're
man or
giving-
less of a
Isn't
man?
that
Oh,
what
that's a
they
good
give?
point.
Isn't that what they're giving women to turn into men? Is fucking. You have to take a steroid. You have to have testosterone. You have to have the hormone that makes you a man,
Yeah.
or whatever a fucking man is. I don't even know anymore.
What's that? What's that?
It's up for debate these
What's
days.
Meatloaf's character on Fight Club? He gets too much testosterone and he grows the big man boobs.
Gynoclastomedia.
Yeah, what do they call?
It's not. It's gynoclastom. What the fuck's it called?
I don't.
You grow man boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, I've had that since I was 12, man. Fuck.
On no steroids.
Yeah, at least I could be lifting plates,
Yeah.
dude.
Right?
Fuck.
If I get the moves, I might as well get the steroids with it.
Nah. I don't know. I thought it was a good.
I could probably
Bob.
use some ball
Wasn't it
shrinkage
Bob?
too, dude.
Bob.
Bob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember Bob?
Fucking Bob. Big old titties. Oh yeah. I'd fuck him.
I didn't know that was Meatloaf.
You didn't? Yeah.
Like the singer
Yeah.
Meatloaf.
Yeah,
Well, they
same.
called him Meatloaf because in that, yeah, he had the tits and then he had the clam shooter down below.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Meatloaf.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Been ran through a
gross.
few times.
Ew. Really?
No, I don't know. Maybe. Sure. Ask him.
I just got a visual.
Let him sing for you.
I think he's dead. You can't ask him anymore.
Fried ham.
Is he dead?
Meatloaf? Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
died.
I didn't know that.
Well, he was 58 in that fucking movie in '94.
R.I.P.
So
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Kind of a big dude.
Back to '94.
Back in '94.
You remember that Olympian?
Right. Have you done anything more with your Danger Dad? I know
No.
you kind of took a little hiatus for a bit.
Yeah, I follow you.
Yeah.
You're never on.
Yeah, no, I stopped streaming a few years back.
You gonna fire that pig back up and get after her or what?
I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed it when I was doing it. It was pretty fun. But it's also, I mean, it's kind of a time commitment that I don't really have the time for right now. It's like one of those things.
Yeah.
Like if I really want to put all my into it, like from the little time that I do have between work and kids and all that stuff, like I really wouldn't have much time for anything else. And I mean, I enjoyed it, but I don't think I enjoyed it enough for it to be like a second job.
Well, I guess here's
So-
a question for you.
That
then.
makes sense.
Is because we know like we have different asshole friends that they stream too, but obviously they didn't take it to the level of like what you're trying to do or we're doing.
Sure.
So what's the timeline through the week that you need to commit to stream for that channel to actually grow? Is it just something if you're playing with the boys, just slap up the stream and maybe green screen behind you so you're hitting two birds with one stone? Or is it like, okay, I need to do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday because I need to be consistent, but I also look at it's a video game and isn't consistency just on the weekends in a sense? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I have no idea how it works.
Yeah, no, I think
To build an audience, if you
over
will.
a while, I definitely found that the consistency is key, and I think the people that really are making a living doing that, I mean, that's their life. Like they are 24/7.
You have to, yeah.
focused on it.
Well,
you
I
know,
mean, with the big ones, yeah,
Yeah.
the main
Yeah.
guys. But,
It's like
I mean,
what Mr.
I
Beast
mean-
said, like, you know, like I think it was a Joe Rogan or 60-minute interview or whatever, but he was like, when he was first doing his YouTube, he was like, yeah, I'd make an hour-long video, but I was like on there 24/7. I was
Right.
looking at my stats,
exactly.
figuring out what I wanted to do and blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's a hard process.
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, I think the big thing was its consistency for a number of reasons. But I would say a big part of it is you get to a point where you'd have those people that are expecting you to air at a certain time on certain days. And so like that's, they're planning on it.
Which Twitch now has calendars. I don't know
Yeah.
if they were
I
on
mean,
there when you were.
no, it was, I mean, I think it was a little.
I think
a little looser back then.
because you're involved in our shitty fantasy football group, right? You still
I
playing that
have.
shit?
Yeah, and I haven't for the last couple of years.
yeah,
but
you bet
So the
that.
first time that I got involved in this shitty league was I won it and I made a video and you were streaming And in my video, I was like, 1 second, I'm watching Danger Dad in the video.
awesome.
I don't because I was like, I already knew I won. Like I was trying to make the impression like I'd rather watch you play than know that I already won the champ. I don't give a fuck.
That's pretty
So
funny.
it's in my first video I made. It was like, so it goes back that far that you were doing it, and you had a really good following. Like one of my buddies that helps us out with the podcast and stuff on his Discord a lot is he just had a kid, so he had to back down a little bit from his streaming, but it's a grind.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like there is no get rich quick thing except for the lottery, I guess. But like what you're doing behind the scenes and all that shit and like taking time out of your day, like that's time from, it's like work.
Oh yeah.
It's not fun for you in a sense.
Another job.
But when I do remember watching you, like, cause I remember when you talked about it, I followed you and like you did explain Siege very well. You had a knit community and like you're following, so you were doing your thing. But now it's all about like talking to your chat, and exploiting to them and being like, "Oh, what are you guys doing about?" And I was like, "Dude, and that's why I follow streamers that don't really give a shit about their chat or don't show donations. Like they're just explaining this is how you play.
That
the
is
game.
one of the things I've noticed too. It's like
I'm not here to be chat
I want to see what the fuck you're doing, and all you're doing is kitty boo boo fuck over there, 22. Thank you. Oh, hey, smile. You know, it's like, dude.
Yeah.
If you want to be part of it, cool, do it. Like it's the same thing as like you making the content.
If you were to hop on and be like, title your stream for first time users, I think you would catch a lot of people, especially now with Siege coming out with a lot of first time users, and you just explain the game. And I've watched streamers with 0 views, and they're just talking like they have views. They're just talking to the thing, and like I think they're doing that because they're gonna repost it and edit in YouTube.
Could be, yeah.
And so it makes sense, but it's not like you're just gonna go on there and.
No, actually, to be honest with you, like, some of my favorite stuff when I was,
or you get the bots
doing it
like,
was,
hey, you want to see my pictures? No,
right.
I mean, are
yes.
they?
No, some of my favorite
Just
stuff.
gave you $10. Show me that asshole. Wrong game.
So, like, because you can't even take donations to like. So you're, I would say you're a further along streamer. I don't know what the right word is here, but like, say you've been streaming longer. Like, do you know how many subs or whatever that you have to get? Like, is there can you take donations right away as streaming? Can you
no,
do you have to get so many subs?
You have to get affiliated first.
How do you get affiliated?
You have to have so many streaming hours per month.
So it's based off
combined
hours,
with
views.
With views, so many views per streaming hour, so many followers.
So it's like YouTube.
You have to
so
meet a goal.
YouTube calls it monetize, but
and once you hit that goal, then you can monetize your channel.
I think when my buddy was talking, I think you need 500 subs to actually.
I don't know what it is now. I'm trying to remember what it was then. But
were you able to get donations?
Yeah.
Like you have a following. Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
I got affiliated. Yeah, it took a few months before I got affiliated.
That's huge, to be honest with you.
And then, it was really fun. And then, you can also set up so you can obviously have your stuff through Twitch. So you can get your little donations through Twitch. Or there's, you can also like have what's the other, oh my God.
Like PayPal and stuff?
Not PayPal.
X-Hamster.
Well, now
Patreon.
So it's
Patreon. That's what I was thinking of.
It's different now because Amazon bought Twitch.
Yeah.
So now everything's paid in bits and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if
it was. Do
you watch streamers?
I do a little bit.
Okay,
yeah.
so you
I
know
watch
what
some
it's
Rainbow
like.
stuff.
You're like, what the fuck's this shit?
But what I was going to circle back
to be honest with you, that is a huge accomplishment. I don't think I think there's probably 1% or less of the population that can say they're monetized with Twitch. So congrats.
I mean,
good job.
It was cool for the time that I did it, for the couple years that I was really into it. I never had to spend a single dime on my gaming. And then also like stuff for the stream.
Right.
So like that entire time, every single bit of money that I made off of it went back into it, where it was either buying a video game or
better camera,
buying a better mic or a new cam.
Knowing you needed a cam.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. So for those couple years, I didn't get in trouble with the wife,
Right,
because
But
everything was paid
telling you,
for.
it's worth it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching you because you were talking about the game and you were telling your team, what needed to be done. You weren't looking at Cutie Pie 496 like, oh, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I mean, you would say like, hey, thank you for
That's how they make money, though, Joe.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Like you have to play the game. I mean, people are donating money just so they feel like they're a part of the experience.
And I understand that, and I feel like that's what the streaming community is saturated with right now. It's saturated with a bunch of people that just want to make money, and I just want to learn how to play the fucking game.
Couldn't you on Twitch though? Like, so I know like the standard kind of, if you will, is when people throw up $5 or $10 or $1, whatever the fuck it is. It's, oh, thank you. So and then you're in the game, or hey, thank you for donating.
They can say,
couldn't you like run a hypothetically? Couldn't you run your match and then at the end of the match just list everything off? Like you could set up any way you wanted.
I would do that. Yeah. So say because Rainbow, because you played Rainbow, we'll just use that one as an example. I played some other games too, but mainly Rainbow Six was my channel.
I learned how to play Rainbow through you.
When you're playing, when you're in the game, obviously you got to be focused. It's a squad-based game.
It's a hard
teams
game.
are counting on you. You have to pay attention. If you look away for 1 second, you could get headshot, or you're out of the game. You're not going to get respawned or anything. So obviously you have to pay attention. So there's also the moments like maybe during the prep phase or between matches that you could take that little moment and talk. But what I would have my streaming setup is I have my gaming monitor. I had another monitor where I would have my
chat and stuff.
My chat, and you'd have the
donations. I remember
your OBS,
my streaming software.
Yeah, you could see it.
And then I would have a big screen that was mounted like right above my gaming monitor.
Yeah, you were legit.
And then I would have things like tracking, like trackers for like any bits or donations or anything like that. And so what you do is the moment you have that little tiny break, then you're looking up at it and you can say, oh, hey, by the way, so thank you.
And which is nice because someone donates.
Because
but you don't need to reply to everybody in chat like.
But I'm not going to do it right in the middle of a game.
Yeah, when you go to somebody that has like 1,000 people views in their chat, the chat's just like.
Yeah.
Like
some people though like have moderators that pull those things for them.
Yeah, they have mods that pay for.
But but it's also a gimmick though too. The very first guy. This is back in the day before Twitch was Twitch. It was Justin TV. And it was people playing at all hours. It was kind of like YouTube, but live. And there was this cat that I used to follow that was in his garage at his parents' house. And his gimmick was when he got $5 or more, he would do something that day. So sometimes it was like, he'd be in the middle of, and he was a Counter-Strike player, which is a very serious game too, as we know. Yeah. But what he would do is he would get $5 or more, and he would drop down and start doing push-ups on that day or whatever it was.
Do the WAP dance.
He'd do... It was the WAP dance, dude.
He was playing his dad's garage. Yeah, he was. Do
you remember that? Was that you that showed me that guy?
Yeah, he was the greatest satire YouTuber of all time. He's actually back now.
He's back now, dude.
But I think, like streaming wise, it's just there's so much more. Like I feel like it's like imagine if the NFL was like, all right, you guys. If you applying for a moose tag, you can be like, all right, if you get lucky, you can chime in and chat during the NFL game on this NFL Monday night game.
Yeah.
That chat would just be like this.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like how do you fucking follow that? So, I feel like what he said, do you have moderators? Like,
no,
I know they have
time
mods.
I did. There's a couple people that would elevate as a moderator on my channel, and they could, I had one person that was pretty consistent. And they would say if somebody said something, wanted to point something out, then they would chat me or send me a message,
they could send
a private message saying, "Hey,
Asman does it a lot.
Take a look at. Make sure you check out this comment. Make sure you look back at this. If comments were going like that or whatever."
Yeah, because I know the only time I jumped into not the only time, but one of the times I did jump into it, obviously being me. See you like hyper focused on what you're doing, running your stream, and I'm like, all right, how the fuck do I get this guy to laugh? So I'm over here like writing something, send it out. I'm like, come on, look at it, and then you'd get and then it would be something where you couldn't repeat, and you'd look at it, and I'd see you go, And I'm like, got him. Like, I know he's reading it. Like, you know, but
it's fun too.
That's
it's
me
fun to
doing
watch to help your friends do it. So yeah, I was definitely following you.
It was pretty cool. There's some pretty interesting moments that I will always like kind of look back on the streaming, my time streaming, which was really cool. I would run into a situation here and there where there'd be like a younger kid, like maybe 12, 13 or something like that. And then they would start slowly like asking little bits of advice. And then I'd start to discover like, oh, this kid doesn't have a dad. And he's asking me how do you ask out a girl, or hey, you know,
I remember that.
Yeah.
You talked about that.
And then there was this other kid.
It gets personal.
Yeah. It was like those certain followers that like then you kind of get excited like when they show up.
But you don't know if like, is this actually
you getting catfished? Or?
No, I feel like after a certain amount of time, like you could tell if something's like legit or not. Like there's this other.
So no one's just coming out hot.
like, bitch, show me them titties.
No, there's this other follower I had that like, you know, he followed me for 2 years. He was a paraplegic, but he loved Rainbow, but he couldn't play it. So like it was like his favorite. Like he would say like his thing. It was like, hey, look, watching you play because I can't play the game.
Personalities.
Yeah,
It's a
it was
stressful job.
Yeah,
Man. It's not fun. Like if you were to say like, if you were to start now, like fire it up, took all the knowledge in from what you had all the free time in the world, what advice would you give to like people that want to stream? Like my kid wants to be a YouTuber. Like which is different, but it's like, what would you say?
Go get a vocational degree.
What would you do? Like if you were teaching like, which might be a thing, like how to stream class.
Yeah.
What would be like your bullet points? Like this.
I think it comes down to one thing and one thing only. If you think that you're gonna go and get into streaming to become rich and famous, and that's your goal. Is it's some end goal of money and fortune and fame, then it's pointless.
It needs to be a hobby.
Yeah, it needs to be something that you have a passion for doing it. You would do it whether or not you're paid or not, and it's all you care about and all that you want to do. And then that money may eventually come, but if it never does, who gives a shit? Because you love doing what you're doing.
Right.
That's it. Right
I
there.
mean, that's
period.
It's like Joe's OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Just a hobby.
Yeah.
It's up on the roof.
It's up on the look up. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there you
Nice. Ooh.
Yep, that's what he's gonna do when this crashes and burns.
No, I feel like that's true with any job, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
Part of a sticky note.
I feel like there are certain careers that require you to go to college and get a degree by law, but you can make your own profit. But I feel like if you find something that you enjoy doing,
Well, I feel like
should-
that's everyone's
feel
everyone's
like-
life goal, right? You find something they enjoy
well,
doing.
I feel
so
like
it doesn't
people
feel like work.
I feel like
Right.
so like what I hate about like when I hear like with politics a lot is like, yeah, I made this plant and we're gonna have better jobs. Like, bro, I don't want to fucking work. How about you make the other countries work and they send me a fucking paycheck kind of thing? Like, why do I have to work? I hate that shit. I hate that that thing when politics brings up building jobs. I don't want to build jobs. I want to build entrepreneurs. I want to build people that take risk and want to dive into shit. I don't want to be I don't want to be the boomer crowd anymore. Like, am I going to be secure with the 9 to 5? Who gives a fuck about that shit kind of thing? I want to be like, hey, let's
Fucking Gary V over here.
let's just like so what happens a lot in the trade jobs is like, okay, if you were to come roof for me and I taught you everything I knew from what I knew from my parents and my grandparents from years of generations on roofing, and I'm paying you $12 an hour, but I'm over here fucking driving a boat and shit. But you know like Al Bundy's a great example on Tim the Toolman Taylor type shit. Why would you not go make your own roofing company and do the
Home
same thing.
Improvement, but
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he just mixed up 3 different shows.
Yeah,
but
the fictional character on a fictional show on the fictional show that you watch.
What I'm saying is like, why? Like, if your goal is to be happy, and that's what.
But maybe he is happy on that show. That's why he doesn't want to do anything.
Maybe he's
you.
Like, maybe people, and I'm not going to take away from people that like to be led.
Joe Bundy.
Like, there are people that
It's Al Borland.
that like to be led, but I agree with what you're saying. Like, you shouldn't get into streaming just based on making money. You should do it because you like what you're doing. You like to be entertaining and showing to your crowd. Then the money gets there, and I get it. The money's going to
Wouldn't you
conflict.
think?
But wouldn't you rather, like, if you're the best bagger, like, for stocking groceries, why don't you make your own company? And you
Here's the
come
deal.
in?
Here's the deal, though. I don't think. Do you think
Just
that
shit on 'em,
Do you
it's
think?
fine.
Here's the thing. Do you think that the majority of people have it in them to lead, or do you think the majority of people or just would rather be led? And what I'm saying is that you say, like, okay, so somebody's so good at making shoes or roofing or whatever, that doesn't mean that they want to deal with the pressure.
I get that. Yeah, there's a lot of
building a business, the responsibility
saying
of
it's easy.
picking up all
The
those new jobs.
accountability.
The accountability, as opposed to just showing up for a job, punching
risk.
a clock, and leaving, and then have to think about it.
Oh, oops, I'm sick and
I
don't have to
understand
do
that.
anything.
Yeah.
You know, compared to like, it doesn't matter, bitch. You got to
It
get
goes
there.
back to what you said.
Yeah.
Well, is it more enjoyable to punch a clock, or more enjoyable to get 0 views and grow it into like 1,000 views?
Well, everyone's different.
yeah,
though.
I think everyone's
not
a little
everyone
different.
has a podcast.
I
not everyone
understand that, and
streams.
I feel like
Not everyone's a roofer for
there's-
$12 an
there's
hour.
There is
And
a
not
political.
everyone's Al Bundy.
There is a political
and a show
side
and a show
that
and a show.
feeds off dumb people and people that can't do shit by themselves. I get that. I understand that. I feel like understandable. But I feel if you're in a trade job, especially, you should take in what you can, give back what you can to some said person that trained you, and do it yourself. Like, if that's what your goal is you love building fences, then go do it.
I'm not arguing with you saying you're wrong or anything.
But I'm not saying it's going to be easy.
I like where you're coming from.
But you're going to do it for free.
You want to say what you're trying to say is like we need to encourage more of that like entrepreneurial
like,
American go
God
get it
bless
done
capitalism.
spirit.
I mean, when the politician
But what
talks
do you
about
do when there's 15,000 fence companies with 1 or 2 people?
when a politician
Who do you
talks,
pick?
when a
I don't
politician,
know. They all do
when
the
a
same fucking
politician
work.
talks to you about
And
like
that guy charges 75 and that guy charges 12.
That's the game, dude.
Then
Learn
you
how
go
to
with
sell
12?
yourself.
yeah, when a politician talks to you about like, hey, we're creating more jobs,
Or you make
like,
one company.
why do I want to? What the fuck? I don't want to go work. Like, we saved the world twice. Why do we have to work?
Reigning
anymore?
champs.
Kind of thing. I was like,
Two world wars, baby.
Well,
Like,
I think where it comes, I think
it's
where
like
it comes,
I
generally
rather
comes down to
I rather
is
you
the
be
fact
like, hey,
that-
give me more, get rid of shit so I can be more like do what I want to do. Like,
well, there's a big
I don't
problem.
want to go to
is over the
D&D and
last
get a
40
fucking star
years.
card.
Over the
Fuck
last
your
40
star
years,
card, bitch.
all these middle class jobs that we had where a single income family, one person's going off, maybe the guy,
The wife's
dad,
fucked up on Prozac
going
or
on
Speed or whatever she's doing.
working a job and be
Best
able
time
to
of her
afford a
life.
house and a car,
I'll
and put
vacuum
food
that
on the
shit.
table, and all these, a lot of these manufacturing jobs disappeared. And so, I mean, I think a lot of, and people see that, these, they see the, how it's affected the middle class, in the United States. So this is when these politicians are like, all right, we're going to create this many more jobs.
Well, the fact is people are fucking lazy,
picking
dude.
at this idea in somebody's head that, oh yeah, well, we got to get these jobs back. So obviously,
How
So
many?
that's
How
happening.
many of the?
Well, get the
you're-
jobs
how
back
many
is
of
more
the-
of the, instead of outsourcing everything that we're doing, bringing it back to us, and fill those jobs. Yeah, people probably don't want to work them, Joe, but the ones that
why
do
can't-
want to
why-
work them
why can't
are
the president
going
be
to.
like-
And they're
why
going to
can't the
there's an
president
Amazon
be
right
like-
down the street instead of only being one over in Seattle, and I can't go work for them because there's only one.
Why can't a president?
Goes
So
back to
like,
exactly
I
what
want.
you're
I
saying.
run a run for governor of Idaho, right?
yeah.
Why do I feel like people that live in Idaho have to work? They don't.
So you're going to govern a state that has no money?
No.
The Badlands.
The states between us use our roads all the fucking time. I I would. So basically, I'd be like,
Toll booth Willie out
if
here.
I was a governor, I'd be like, hey guys, all right, you can do your thing.
$11 a car ain't gonna generate the type of tax
I'll,
income
all
that the
Joe,
state
I got
needs.
one question
Sorry.
for you. I got one question for you. Do you think that we are better as a society since we've started giving out more and more money to people to not work for free? Do you think humanity is better now? The American human is a better person now than when you had to deal with all your own shit and it was local community had to take care of you, the church, local organizations, and it was local communities had, as opposed to the federal government just handing out money.
No,
because I'm worried where you're going with this. Like, well, you know, we just want people to
I
not
think-
work and be happy.
I think,
well, what that means that it's the state having to hand out money and
think-
a bunch of other people having to work.
He went
to
from
make
full
all that
capitalism to communist
I know,
real
like,
quick. All of a
what's
sudden.
going on here,
I'm
Joe?
getting fucking whiplash
Yeah.
over here.
It's
We're
not.
gonna find
it's
out.
not-
He
it's not-
owns that fence company.
It's not communism. So I think what happened
Socialism.
is a bunch of people. Okay,
Same thing.
So here's what happened to America, right? You can't have a monopoly in America, right? By law, you can't monopolize shit.
In theory.
In
Just
theory.
only the government can be the monopoly.
Yeah.
But other than that,
However, you can lobby for shit. So let's say like you're Rockefeller and you came out with fucking oil. You figured like oil runs cars and shit. But you realize there's a federal law being like, I can't be the only oil company because other people are going to make it. But you know you can lobby laws to make it harder for said people to be an oil company. So why even pursue it in the first place? That's exactly what America is right now in business. It's lobbied laws that make it harder for you to do shit that you want to do. What I'm saying is like, I don't give a fuck what you want to do in the state of Idaho. And other countries other states are gonna pay for it. And we're gonna generate a GDP based off your product because other people want that product. And I'm not talking like, and I know everybody's mind's going to like legal shit, like not legal shit, illegal shit, like drugs and stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying like just do what you got to do to like make your business grow and do shit, and then we'll worry about like, is it safe later, kind of thing. Like,
But you can't make your business grow if everyone's leaving to go start their own business.
I'd rather have everybody have their own business, but like people need there are needs that people need here. Like this is a huge retirement area. Like there's a huge incentive for like helping old people out. Nobody wants to fucking do that job. Do you know how much
no money in it.
I know a guy that owns a pest business. There is money in it. I know a guy that owns a pest business that charged $75 to just spray a beehive.
Yeah.
And he does it like 10 times a day. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Because there are elderly people or people that are too
But he
proud
can't do it
and,
year round.
I got money. No, but he
And not every day is gonna be 10
he
beehives.
ventures off and you figure it out, but like he doesn't.
Oh, they're planting bees
But
and shit.
if you have the
That'd be my job. I'll go put that bee.
If you have the
nest at that tree, sure.
Washingtonians and the Montanans using our state highways that I can toll and give a percentage back to said Idahoans that might need it for
Yeah,
health
but
insurance
then you're
or
talking
whatever.
like breaking up the continental United States, and instead of 50 states, it's 50 little countries.
No,
You
I'm
know,
just
we're like
saying
going to
like
be fucking Eastern Europe over there.
Okay, 53 out here
DC will
is
own all
driven
this.
90% by people that live in Washington and ruin that fucking road. Idaho taxpayers have to pay to fix that road because of Washington people.
But we also need the income from the people coming into the state.
No, they don't. They use it to drive up to fucking Newport. Where are they going off 53? There's no jobs on
that's
53.
41.
No, it's people.
They're driving from Spokane
they're living in
to go up
Spirit
to
Lake
fucking
and
Newport
working in
because
Spokane.
Washington won't pave a road. And I'll just tax the fucking people in Washington.
They do
Like-
have a road.
Like,
It's
yeah,
highway too.
It's states' rights, and we're at war all the time with each other at states. Like, fuck you. I don't give a shit about Washington and your people. Go work in Washington. You
Well, what
wanna-
happens when you drive on the Washington roads then?
They can tax us then as Idaho being
So
an
it's a
asshole.
moot point then?
No.
Just don't tax anyone.
It's like, if you want to use my fucking highway, you're getting with the Washington plate, or be on any road in Idaho with a Washington or out of state thing, you're gonna pay the Idahoans a fucking fee. so that they can live better.
Yeah, but that works both ways, just like Miles said.
It's not
because people work in Washington because Idaho doesn't pay shit.
Shut up.
They fucking have the lowest pay for income. Okay,
Who?
Idaho. You're great.
It's always been
straight.
federal minimum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is $7.45
Nobody
fucking hour.
works for $7.45.
They all go to Washington to fucking make more
17.
money. Exactly. And then so now they're crossing over from Idaho into Washington. So now they have to get charged
Yeah,
to make
points
more
me.
money.
Like unless
and come
Washington
back.
wants to pass the thing the same way I'm saying, like no.
No Washingtonians working in Idaho. I can tell you that. They might have to traverse through Idaho
Yeah.
to get somewhere.
And they're gonna pay.
Unless it's a high-paying job like maybe
They're gonna pay.
nurse,
Why is
doctor,
that a
something.
problem?
Something that's on
no.
the
I
actual
don't see the
federal
fucking
level of
problem here.
pay.
Where
Why
I
is that
do
a
agree
fucking
with you,
problem?
there's
that's
something I do agree with you
Idaho's
on.
fucking state
Maybe-
highway, not Washington's.
Maybe not the toll thing, but
Oh, you'll be fucking.
And by the way-
told,
no,
baby.
the tolls.
The
What about
toll-
interstates? Interstates are
No,
federal.
good toll.
No, the
Yeah,
one
there's the
thing.
interstate right out there.
No, the
you
one-
want to hop on 41?
But it's
You're-
federal. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Okay, where's it getting you to? Seattle and shit.
Or it's getting you to the fucking East
And
Coast.
shit, it cuts the entire country laterally.
I'm
dude.
not talking about the federal shit. I'm talking about the state shit.
So then you'd propose all this, and then the state would just come and say, you know what, we're giving our fucking highway roads to federal.
No,
Yeah.
you're totally
Lobby that,
You're
bitch.
totally
And you're
not
back,
understanding
nah.
what I'm saying. I'm saying
I am understanding what you're
I'm
saying. It's
every
nonsense.
This governor's running pro taxes, dude. He's not going to
We're
get
gonna-
anywhere in
There's
Idaho.
not going to be anybody coming into Idaho for work because now he has tolls
Good.
for coming into the state.
Yeah.
Then no one's going to want to work in the fucking state. He's going to be like Lord of the Flies sitting on his ship being like, give me some of that because I made it all and everyone's dying.
What-
give me the conch. I want the conch.
What I'm saying is, my tax money is paying for 53 out here because it's fucked up by Washington people using it to go up to Newport. What I'm saying is
I
there-
drive on
It's a
it all the
balance, though,
time.
like, I mean, how
I'm
many?
not talking about you.
It's a
I don't
balance,
even live
though,
in your
that-
county.
I mean,
I'm
how many?
talking
How
about-
many
I'm
Washingtonians?
talking about people, Washingtonians using Washington to get up to Newport because their
Well,
state
also,
won't
how
buy-
many Washingtonians are coming over here for business purposes? They're
Dude,
coming
I
over
could
here
retire everybody in
to
Idaho
buy
right
liquor.
now.
They're coming over here to buy cigarettes.
that liquor
They're coming
store
over here to
right
buy
over there?
gas.
Nah.
Like no, I mean they.
I would have a federal agent. I would have a state agent in that fucking thing. If you have a Washington ID,
Hey, they're-
buying
no,
liquor.
they're-
at
we
that
live in a
state,
tourist town,
Yeah.
like,
dude.
you get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
The population here doubles
Or
during
I'd
the
be
summer.
like, double it up. Like,
no. But where I will agree with you on,
It's my state. I
as
care
far
about
as
my
that
people.
Is
Fuck
you
yeah.
know, so for years I lived out
You
in
don't even own
Hauser.
your own
I lived
land.
out in
Take
Hauser
your,
Lake.
take your weed ass, having ass, boys or bullshit state, and go back over there to your shit. Build a
so
road.
for years I lived out in Hauser, and in the summertime, Hauser Lake gets just fucking packed, and if you drive by and see every car, over 90% of the cars have Washington.
Oh, yeah.
plates. And so that, like,
say,
that,
oh, yeah.
and so same thing.
Fucking
Like
agree.
when I'm going up the Coeur d'Alene River
Same thing.
and I'm going fly fishing or I'm going camping, and
they can't
again,
do it.
90% of the plates you see are Washington plates. Yes, I do think there's certain things like maybe when it comes to some of our natural resources.
Yeah, you do a park tax.
There should be some type of
Yes.
if you are out of state, you have to pay some type of like visitation
That already
thing.
exists.
Federal.
Funny
No,
thing is,
no, no,
for
no,
Washington, it does
no,
for us
no.
going to those parks.
No,
Federally-
and
If
maybe
you go to
in actual
Round Lake,
parks.
if you go to Round Lake right now-
Round Lake's a state park. The Coeur d'Alene Forest and the river is not. You're not entering a park that you
a
have
state-
to enter a fee for.
It's a national park. Coeur
Yeah,
d'Alene.
but what I'm saying is other states already have that in way higher regard. Like when you go to Oregon, you got to have fucking passes to go everywhere.
We should. We have these beautiful natural resources
Yes.
around us, and we have people. Now, one thing: if you're coming here to enjoy it and respect it, please come enjoy it and respect it. I wouldn't, that tax dollars would be
Yeah,
a
but they're
benefit.
fucking
but what the
assholes
problem
over
is,
there.
when I go up the Coeur d'Alene River and I see a bunch of freaking trash, or we go camping up there and people don't know how to pack it in, pack it out, it pisses me
It's
off.
the boom box for me, dude.
What, the boom box?
Yeah, people have boom boxes at campsites.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the boom box as long as you're far away from somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to tunes when I'm camping.
So what I do is like I walk out 100 yards, 100 feet.
Then why camp?
No.
I camp, dude. I got my fucking TV. I'm watching the fucking game.
No, that's
drinking a beer.
different.
Fucking have
That's
a boom
different.
box
Oh, you have a
on.
camper? Like
No.
You sleep on the rocks, bitch.
Listen to the fucking river, my guy.
Hey, I am tent camping.
Ew.
But I'm listening to fucking music. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to go up there with a damn recliner and a big screen TV.
Hey,
You could stream from there.
But
Think
if
about
I
how
want to
many
listen
fucking
to some,
listeners you get on that.
but if I want to fly fish,
How about
drink
this?
a beer, and listen to some Led
How about
Zeppelin
this?
on the side of the river, I'm going to do it.
How about this? When I run for
We know the
governor-
boomboxes are not
Okay.
playing Led Zeppelin.
Well, mine is.
Let's face
How
facts.
how about
dude.
this?
The boombox you hear is way different.
All right,
When I run for governor, okay, I can't tax federal highway,
true.
but I will go after
Back
them.
on the fucking roads.
I'll get their federal shit out of here. Well, that's how the federal government controls states, is by the interstate. They did it on purpose. They put an interstate in every state on purpose. If you notice that, it's on purpose. It's because you can have your
we can
state's
travel?
rights.
Well, it's 'cause
do
it's
you know
in
why
their
they
name.
did it?
No,
The state,
no, I
the
understand.
infrastructure in the U.S. was built around military.
I understand why they did.
Mobilization.
Yeah, we copied Adolf Hitler in the fucking Audubon. I get that.
Audubon, you know?
But what they do is, by them having an interstate in your state, they're kind of negating state rights. They can just shut off funding. They can shut off federal funding. So
I
'cause
think
the
we
state
care
is
more
not
about
higher
other
than the
funds than
federal
just the
government.
state state fund or highway funds.
there's a lot into the highway system, more than it just being like, oh, I want to get to New Jersey in 5 days. No, it's very strategically planned by the federal government to control states.
But it's also fantastic.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
I don't need it.
We have
I don't need the
a
fucking federal
gigantic
highway.
fucking country.
Yeah, but why?
I mean,
I don't need it.
There's okay. All right,
Where
probably
the fuck you
other.
going,
Well,
Phil?
think about
Where you
this.
going,
Think about
baby?
this. Think
You're
about
gonna have
this.
the first governor.
You
who
would
doesn't
have
care about
no
anybody
gro-
besides
Where
himself.
are you going?
You would
baby?
have
cares
no
about?
groceries.
Right?
No, there's.
What the fuck are
Like,
what are
okay,
we talking
have you
about?
looked at the-
here?
have you
There's
looked at
trains
the-
we built in
Good,
the 1920s.
because it's all
Fuck 'em.
poison anyway. Grow your own shit.
This guy's got 10 fucking Amazon boxes on his porch, dude. He's bitching about people using the fucking roads, man.
Let's go. He'll have drones by then.
No,
We have this amazing vast country, and we can travel and we can go anywhere. It's fantastic.
I
think it's
understand
great.
that, but like you're just gonna have to pay a little fee to come into Idaho.
Hey, I already do in certain municipalities.
Is
in
it
the
that
US,
big of a
toll,
fucking deal?
freaking Toll.
What's wrong with
Right.
what's wrong with $1? Just scans your license plate. $1 done. $1 done.
You can tell this guy's never lived in a city
Yeah.
with fucking tolls before.
Tolls suck.
I have, and
And now you loved every minute of it? You were just like, fuck yeah, dude, fuck it. Let's stack them dollars up.
no, there's nothing you can do about it. What are you gonna do? Drive off road? And even when I was
You
driving,
avoid it.
I was driving in Mexico because I
Just
helped.
can't on these highways.
So Mexico has a highway from the airport to up to La Paz, which is their capital, from Cabo. It's a 3-hour drive. To help pay for the road, they put in tolls. It
Talking
makes
about another
sense.
fucking country out here.
Yeah,
No,
it makes
and
sense.
look,
but-
I can appreciate that.
First
I
We're
mean,
talking
Idaho,
countries
we're
and
talking
not
about
states.
if you
Mexico?
are,
But
no,
I'm just
if
trying to
you
say,
are-
Gulf of
my-
America?
My Idaho residents are not working or paying taxes because of other states fucking up Idaho. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, if you are
And you guys
using
won't
those
pay.
tolls exclusively for
See,
fixing
here's
and
the thing.
building
He's
those roads,
not.
Why can't I do that?
Here's the thing that you're forgetting, though.
Fuck
is
you,
the
Washington,
roads
Montana,
are built
and
for a
Utah.
specific way, and when they start deteriorating, now you have to call in, aka those trades you were talking about, to come fix it, which generates work for the working people to now make your state and revenue for that state because it's a stately funded job, right? So now it's going to cost them $4 or $5 million to say to fix
Yeah,
these roads.
but if I
guess what?
didn't-
They're federally funded because it's a state highway coming through. That chicken's going to come
It's
through.
not federally funded.
And so
it's a
it is now raised
state
or
highway.
given to or allotted to by the money that they are given federally to fix their fucking state, and that money is going back into the community because now these said companies are now fixing it. So it works in a full circle here, dude. You can tax them all you want. Like I'm not opposed to it.
not a
I'm just
tax.
trying to figure out how
It's a payment.
the toll thing is going to solve all problems, dude. There are 175 fucking other things on that list to fix the deficit right now.
Start at the bottom, then you work
Tolling
work that
shit
way.
in Idaho is fucking is so far close to the bottom.
I think money fixes everything.
Rocks are floating down there
What
with
are
it,
they-
dude.
what is-
Right.
what are Washington? What are they gonna do? Are they not gonna take 53 for $1 toll? or $5 toll.
They'll probably
and
go
take
highway
their
too. Fuck it.
shitty highway that takes 3 hours to get up to Newport.
But
I will make. I'm not disagreeing with you guys.
all chickens are getting
I will-
stamped with Idaho's on them.
I will make amendments to
Seal of
people that
Idaho.
like if you work in Washington and your state card shows that you work in Idaho and you use our roads, fine. You don't have to pay it.
Let's just do some math real fast, dude. 1,000 cars go through there a day, okay?
There's more than that.
And you get $1
There's
every
probably
single
like
car.
100,000.
Now count that up over a fucking year.
There's more than that go through.
How much does a road cost to make? It's like $1 million a mile, dude.
I wouldn't have to fucking make the road if people weren't
More than
driving
that.
on it. Is
Depending
the
on
point.
what kind of road.
Like,
More than that. So you're not going to generate
not gonna get
anywhere
less people
fucking
on the
close
road.
to no fucking $1.3 million
I would
per
generate-
mile.
I would probably
fucking with your
generate
dollar
more
tolls out here, dude.
capita
Done.
tolling Washington people. I would go. Texas would be second. Idaho would be the highest GDP state ever.
Just
By
from
tolling.
taxing Washington drivers.
Not taxing, tolling them.
He's so far.
100%.
We get hundreds of dollars.
And the parks too, to use our parks. As soon as you get off the freeway, like if you gotta it would be everywhere. And then
Freeway
people-
or highway?
freeway?
So now we are going federal.
No, freeway. They can travel on the
You
freeway.
know why they call it the freeway?
I'm not talking about the freeway. That's a federal thing. We've already discussed this. But as soon as they take the exit at Kingston, if you have a Washington tag, that's a fucking toll, baby.
Let's call that the Freedom Freeway.
Yeah.
That's what it is
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Why
Freedom isn't free.
can't go to your state? Go to your fucking parks. You're so great.
Now we
about
can't have any
being
Washington
shit.
guests on because we got to toll them $1. Hey, by the
True.
way, you
Yeah.
got to pay the new governor $1, you son of a bitch.
It's a piss in
my
the wind,
God.
but
Costs $1 to you and me.
They don't even know. It's just a sticker. They just get told. They don't even fucking know. Yeah, I would fucking toll shit.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Hey, you know, you
Fixing the
you
economy.
piss them off enough, then they're not going to let us go over there and buy their weed.
Also, as a governor, I'd make that legal too.
Yeah.
Obviously,
it's
why
worked
wouldn't
so well in every other state.
Why would I not make it legal?
No, it is pretty stupid when every single state surrounding Idaho.
Look at Colorado, dude.
They're
Just look
using
at,
Idaho
look,
as a
at,
bong.
look at crime statistics in Colorado over 20 years, dude. Take a peek at that when they legalize that shit. I don't care where you
I
are.
think,
on the
I think
line.
it's more that Colorado is just a shit show in general.
was doing pretty good till fucking a certain year, but
Sheesh. Yeah, no, I agree.
So,
plus it's not fun unless there's a little bit of risk involved, right, boys?
All right.
now off of the highways, have you been watching the new Andor?
I
Hey,
have.
no spoilers, guys. Shit.
I have.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the last of the 6 episodes, so I've watched 5.
They're already 6 in.
They
they're-
drop 3 at a time.
They're 9 in.
Okay, so I haven't seen the new 3 that dropped plus the last of the.
Gotcha.
So I'm whatever that equates to. 5. I've seen 5.
Okay.
Which, how dumb am I? It took me a second to realize that Andor is a prequel to.
To Rogue One?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh.
And the only reason why I was on Hulu or
Yeah.
Disney or whatever the fuck you want to call it these days, and I saw his face, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, that makes sense. Because I was seeing the characters, and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen these guys before. Like maybe I missed something on a previous episode or something that was in there.
Sure.
Yeah, then it dawned on me that it's a prequel. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's they're planning on these 12 episodes. Season 2 will lead directly up to the start of Rogue One.
So
it leads right into it.
how did you, I heard that before I started watching Andor, because I almost didn't watch it. I was like, oh, it's the next best thing, blah blah blah. It's so good and all this shit. And I went into it, and there was a couple things that were pretty disappointing about it.
Yeah.
And it was
Like what?
some of the overacting, and then just the inner cuts between the scenes of like the relationships. It just felt very forced in
Really?
a sense. Like even to the point of the homeboy's mom, that crazy broad.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure there's a reason for it, coming down in the last part of the episodes, but I don't know. I just
Careful, the governor's back. He might tax you guys
Yeah,
for
right.
talking
Yeah.
talk about interstellar highways. You know,
you gotta take that space highway.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I guess-
feel like completely the opposite. Like I feel like with Andor is like the one, like Star Wars kind of project that the way I would look at it, like I feel like something like the Obi-Wan show is Lucasfilm like got all the interns that used to work at the CW,
Right.
and then they handed them like one of the most important Star Wars shows. And they're like, hey, go ahead and have fun with this. Whereas, Andor's like, all the best people that made, The Sopranos and Game of Thrones, all the best people from HBO came over and made Andor. Like, it just feels, it's more grounded and realistic. And I don't, when you say acting, I feel like it's
for
spot
instance,
on.
like,
It's nuanced and it's slow and it's meticulous.
When they take the gold, right? And they get in that fight and they're trying to get the rest of the gold, and what's her face is like, cover me, and then he just runs out blindly, gets shot in the back. It's like, all right, we cover you. Like, I thought you guys were these assassins training for fucking years or a year to go take this, and then you just run out there all dumbly and then get shot. I'm like, really?
See, I think
really?
it shows
like,
you.
it's
I think
like,
that's the thing is like it shows you
compared to,
even
like,
how more realistic it is. Like that they're not perfect and they're not.
but he
just
didn't bring his rifle
precise
up.
and-
He just ran out there like a fucking hot dog and just got sliced down. I'm like, cover me. Okay, let me do it with my body and just run this distance instead of like, all right, and you roll out of cover, because that's that scene compared to the first, like the opening scene when he takes the dudes on in the alley. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So it's small shit like that just kind of happened in between, where I was like, ugh.
I think
And
maybe
I get
what
it,
they're trying to show you is that these guys, they're just like the start of it. It's just some regular people like trying to, start this new rebellion. They're
Right,
not like
but
this.
he was supposed to be the kind of the badass of the group.
Well, I mean, still, but he's,
And he just gets offed.
I don't know.
That way. Super quick.
I feel like it's not, you're not dealing with a bunch of Navy SEALs. I mean, these are just like some regular old people that got together, built this plan, and are trying to pull off this heist or
Yeah,
whatever.
but it was just a generic killing. Like it seems like they wasted that guy too soon. Or if they killed him off at that point, they could have done it with maybe him returning fire at some spot.
I was going to say martyrdom would be the better thing to go for a rebel, right? Be like, he knows he's going to die, so he runs out there, at least kills a dude or two or five, and then fucking dies.
At least draws his weapon that was in his arm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I
But,
don't think he knew
it's-
he was going to die. I think he was trying to run to the
they have the
transport.
fucking high point. I mean, how many games of Siege do I got to play to understand? Like, I can't just run out there. Like, I don't know. It was kind of like there's a couple moments like that, and then even when I'm bad with the names, but I think it's like the 4th episode when they're in the field and the guy betrays him, and Andor's coming back with that. When that was a whole other thing too. When they captured him on the fucking it's what it seems like. I guess is the best way to explain it is. They were trying to be M-rated, but they kept having to somewhere slide in that slapstick comedy of like we're still Star Wars and we can't give it to them yet. Like,
Yep.
we're trying to blend that line, and when they would blend it, they fucked it up every
Can you
time.
guys do me a favor?
No.
I understand that all three of you
I'm not paying you $5 for using the road, Joe.
are huge Star Wars fans. Maybe not huge, wrong word, but like, what is it about that show that has you guys? Is it because of maybe they'll get it right this? Is it like being a Cleveland Browns fan? Like, fuck, we're not making it this year, but or a Cubs fan for 100 years, like, oh, we play baseball, but we suck at it, and then finally, we allow you to win. Or is it because something else? I'm just curious. Why do you guys have Star Wars up on this pedestal? I don't fucking get it. Are we not watching the same fucking show? Like, I get it. The score is amazing, which is overdone. It's like hosting like a Special Olympics competition and then having them like fucking YouTube play afterwards or some shit, or like, not, I don't know, that's a bad way to phrase it. I don't know, it's like
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for the score, that movie would suck ass, in my opinion, and it still sucks ass. But I'm curious, like, why do you guys still watch this?
I
fucking
can't
That movie
kids?
sucks ass.
can
There's like
explain
fucking
it.
14 of
Why
them.
do you guys watch this kids movie still?
I guarantee.
I just want to know, like,
your
what would
opinion
you-
is in the minority.
What would you tell your kid? Like, I'm your kid right now, and like, hey, we're gonna sit down and watch Star Wars. What would you say to me, like, to keep my attention?
Billy,
what is it?
you're a little retarded.
So just say anything you want to me. Like, what is it? Like, get me to watch this fucking show right now.
No, there's
Episode
a
4.
reason why it has made such a cultural impact. And yes, maybe over the last 30 years, and especially the last 12 to 15 years,
Cinema's
things have
changed.
been very diluted. The specialness of it has definitely been diluted quite a bit. But I could probably explain to you like why it has the cultural impact that it does. One is just the general story itself. Like we're talking about the original.
Yeah,
Star
we'll just talk
Wars,
about
okay?
the first 3. Like, let's keep it that.
The story itself, it follows a cultural archetype that has been passed down from generation to generation. That they call it, and it's called The Hero's Journey. There's a book by Joseph Campbell that talks about it. George Lucas was who had read about this, but basically it's it follows these certain steps about it's the hero is reluctantly plucked in and put into an adventure, and then they're given certain choices, and they there's like these certain points in every story that they hit, and it I don't know. There's something about it like that. It hits like the
It
human
builds the
psyche.
story.
I
It's
get
nothing.
what
The
you're
human
saying.
psyche. So okay,
I
then
get
you
it.
take that. You just take the story that universal. It's not an American thing. It's not a Chinese thing, a Russian thing. It's a human thing. It's like this weird way of telling a story that any type of human, doesn't matter their culture, can identify with. Okay, so then you combine that with these elements that seem familiar but also foreign.
Like
So
religion, like
No,
like the
like-
Force could be like religious based. Like, is that what you're talking about?
no. Like I'm just saying, like what you're
Jedi,
seeing, the
you are
technology you
religious.
see on screen, right? It's familiar enough where you understand it. Like you understand, that's a ship. They're flying off. Oh, this is a sword. It's got this light.
Yeah, like shit that could happen.
Yeah, but for some reason you can still understand it. It's not so obscure that it doesn't make any sense.
Except the lightsaber. But yeah, I get you. No, I understand. I'm
No,
following.
but they still fight with regular sword
Yeah.
archetypes,
No, I-
right?
right,
Yes,
So-
exactly. That's it. It makes sense, and even though it's
A
like it's a
laser
beam
pistol,
of
it's
light,
still
for some
bullets.
reason in your brain it still makes sense
And
because
it's in a
they're fighting like
it's at
swords.
the same time in a galaxy far,
Yeah.
far away. I get that. I understand.
And then you also combine it with you get the greatest composer of the time that understands like how important like music and film, the symbiotic relationship between the
Hans
between the two.
Zimmerman's been pushing John Williams.
Oh, dude,
shit.
no, Hans Zimmer.
I got
is,
Hans. I'm jerking
fucking
all over
amazing.
Hans.
But I mean,
How would you do Star Wars, Hans? I would have done it like this.
but you combine that element, and then you have you combine elements of samurai culture and elements of the Western, and then you add this other element of this like kind of pulp fun action serials of
I
the
agree.
30s and 40s and 50s. And you combine it all into, then you end up doing things on screen with special effects that have never been done before.
I was gonna say the
So-
scope of it itself,
Yeah.
just not even just special effects, but just the scope of the world and the story had never been nothing on that level had ever been told like
Ever.
that.
So
Ever.
you combine all these elements, and this is something that,
I get it in the 70s. Yeah. it makes
yeah,
sense.
and that's why it implanted itself like in our culture in the way it did. You combining all these elements of like this amazing score with combined with this amazing story, good versus evil that anyone can understand the hero and what they've done, and they're the unlikely hero that's overcome some great achievement or great challenge, and it's something that everyone can understand and everyone can appreciate. Then you combine it with something that's visually stunning for the time, with this music that is like
Never heard of before.
yeah. And so,
wanna
yeah,
do
I mean,
what?
I think that a lot of people like if you just describe Star Wars, oh, hey, there's this space pirate that goes around with a like it's kind of like a pet dog that growls at everyone. And then there's these laser swords.
So
like, I mean, it sounds freaking stupid.
Right. So is it because fans back then seeing that want to see the envelope pushed more and it's not being beat?
Well, no, I think what it is that it's already established in the psyche.
I mean, I would even say this, if you will, is like, so you have the original 3, and we all saw them when we were younger, you know, and still at that point in the 80s watching these, you're like, oh, wow, this is amazing, you know, and it's not where your parents won't allow you to watch it because it's not dark. You know, it blends that perfect line. You know, there's no cussing, but then the things that are happening are very adult. And
it
so
has good morals.
Yes.
I mean, basically, the theme of Star Wars is don't be a dick.
Keep watching
So this is where I'm going to come in.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so,
why do you keep watching it?
So then they do the prequels. And in my opinion, they're fucking garbage. I did not like them. I watched them a few times, hoping, because I was so excited from the originals, and it's been 30 years or whatever, that these are going to be pretty good. And they are good to a point, yes, but overall, I could care if they never existed. And so that now sets the precedence, at least for me, that hopefully they're going to come back, and they don't have to do them better than the original 3. They just have to touch that line of being on the same page of the original 3. And that's why I continue to watch them, because I'm like, okay, everyone can make a mistake. Sure, they did. So hopefully the next series or whatever they do next is going to draw me in like I got drawn in for watching the original 3.
Gotcha.
Look, it's something. It's something that you love.
Just admit it. It's a gotcha movie.
It's something
right
here's the thing.
Andor's
Anything
gotcha,
that you love.
Rogue One. Actually, I like Rogue One.
Say there's something that you love. Say your favorite band, and say even
Kid Rock.
Even if. So every time they put out more music, maybe the music that they put out isn't better than the music that they've had before. But
Changes
it's also,
time.
it changes over time. But maybe it's
Yes.
nice hearing some new music from this band that you love. It's nostalgic for you. You love to.
And maybe they put out
hear
that
it.
album 20
And
years
then-
later that's a
then
banger.
all of a sudden, out of nowhere,
Which is
and it's adding to this thing that you love.
It's a genre that doesn't grow with its audience, in my opinion, is what Star Wars is. Star Wars founded its
Metallica never got
this
better.
is.
Star Wars founded its audience.
It
on
doesn't need to grow with
teenagers
its
and
I've
audience.
been thinking that the
That's
whole
the
time.
thing.
But it's always been like
It doesn't need
based off
to.
that.
I think that's the again
I'm
the
not
reason
saying-
why
but I'm
the
saying,
reason
like, the
why
new
the,
shit that
the,
comes
the
out,
cultural significance is that Star Wars does not need to change. Well, like I guess when I'm referring to even the original movies, okay, it does not need to evolve. It does not need to
I
change
think-
because
I
it
think
has a
there's
cultural
factors too that you guys are
significance.
missing too, like it being sold, right? So when it gets sold, and then Lucas has a lot less to do with it, and then they're still making films, and then it's some director that has a
agree with
certain
that.
objective.
What's his name, Phil? On the original 3, it was Lucas and
George Lucas.
and the fucking other writer. He
Well,
wasn't part of the.
No one knows his fucking name.
Yeah,
dude.
Michael.
No, there.
MJ does.
No, there's
I know, I
So
know.
he,
I know.
he
Ensign
says
George-
that's the reason why Star Wars went down.
Lawrence
I know.
Kasdan wrote.
Thank you.
Helped him
That's
write
what I was thinking of.
on Empire.
Well, and it's everybody on.
And,
It's not just Lucas too. You know, he has a team. Every director has a team of fucking 15 people, right?
Bring that film grip in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, some people they do a really fucking good job with all the little minute shit. I mean, even
Look at
lighting,
Tom
right?
Cruise doing it.
Like you can tell, like these directors can tell who's a good lighter and who's not in a fucking matter of seconds, you know. But I think part of the big problem with the newer stuff is that it got too big, and then it got pulled in multiple
Like a
directions.
rush.
You have to realize that the original
crack.
the original movies were fucking Lucas's magnum opus, dude. They were his life project. They were something he had thought about for 30 years before he fucking filmed them. He'd been thinking about the shit for a long time. And then you come in and you start filming, you know, the third trilogy or whatever, and it's got all new directors, all new, you know, people casting, all new art direction and shit. And yeah, things are gonna fucking not. It's not gonna be the same magic, right?
Well, see,
It's hard. It's hard to get the same magic when you have the same fucking crew 30 years later.
I will say.
Well, it's like talking with what you said about N64 and Mario, where Mario culturally grabbed the people at the time. And then as they got older, the first thing they want to have their kids play is come play Mario. Come see it. And then when they get older, they're like, dude,
Yeah,
I
'cause if
used to play Mario with my dad. Like, this is such a great game. Now you got to play Mario. Like, it's not even like you enjoy it maybe as much or the same, or maybe you do, That's not even what I'm talking about. It's the fact that it was a cultural thing. So even like Star Wars, like I've never gone to a movie theater with my stepdad ever, minus when they re-released fucking Star Wars. He took me because he's like, I've never watched that. You want to go watch? He was excited. I was
because they were 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, somewhere in there when they came out originally.
Yeah.
So then when you're getting to be that age, then they re-released the fuckers in the early 90s, right?
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you what else he did, but
actually,
hole in the popcorn bucket.
I'm kind of cool. Actually, just last Sunday, it was May the 4th. So every year, Spokane Symphony Orchestra.
May the 4th be with you. Fuck you. Paying a toll, bitch.
So every year, the Spokane Symphony Orchestra plays one of the Star Wars movies and then plays all the music. And I took my oldest.
That's cool.
He's 8, and he's Star Wars wasn't something that I wanted to push on either of my kids. Like, they know that I like Star Wars, but I didn't want to be like, you gotta be broken like me.
Yeah, I'm not going to push Game of Thrones. Yeah. My kids are already watching The Last of Us.
Oh, Jesus.
They already beat the game twice. Like,
but he turned out, he got really into Star Wars. So he's never seen any Star Wars movie
like
in the
tapped into something.
In the theater.
There has to be. I get it.
And I took him there. It
Kids
was Return of the Jedi, and it was Spokane Symphony Orchestra playing all the music through the whole movie. And it was first time seeing Star Wars on the big screen, and he was just like the whole time.
Dude, I remember
with that music right there jamming in your ear too.
Maybe it is the score that hits you. So like me and my
it's
bro,
a big part of it.
We get in arguments all the time. What are great movies? What are great games? Blah blah blah. And to me, it's score. Like if you don't have a good score, I don't give a fuck. And the way you portray the score.
Do you sing when you have sex?
And that too. You got to have music playing when you're having sex. It's a great score.
The podcast.
To the 30-second clips.
Yeah, you got to get them 30 seconds in there. But I do remember.
Mike Will made it. It's just a 30-second little clip.
Most people,
it's the shortest playlist ever.
You could go around the room and be like, "Hey, what's your favorite part of the first Star Wars? A New Hope? Is that what it is?"
Yep.
And everybody will say their thing. And what I remember from the New Hope is when Luke looks out at the desert, when the first time you're introduced to Luke and he's like this fucking farmer kid, you're like, who the fuck is this kid? I could whoop his ass. Not someone you can relate to because you're better than him already. Maybe by design. In your mind, and then there might be other kids that be like,
you've only known him for
I don't think a lot of people are going like, I bet you beat that motherfucker's ass, dude.
Let me go watch this fictional movie. Oh, I'll kick his ass.
I'll fuck him up, hey, oh,
alien planet.
Maybe
It's a Jersey thing.
Maybe this is an Italian thing. I size him up. But what I do remember is
you got a lightsaber ship like a hammer.
There's a scene, and he's looking out to the 3 moons, and the fucking score hits, like the best part of the score, not the dun, 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 not that dumb shit, but like the New Hope song hits in, and by the score, it's
Imperial March is amazing.
And that's all he had to do was film that, knowing that this guy's special, and like
it's like the opening to Jurassic Park, dude. When that shit hits,
the awareness of that, like that knowledge of like knowing because of the score, made it prominent. I was like, okay, maybe I should pay attention to this guy. And then
the scene's also iconic because it's something that
fuck it, he loses his hand.
See, think about it this way though. It's like it's that specific scene is
that's the only
anyone
good scene in
can identify with. It's a moment of
but in my opinion,
being young, thinking that you want to move on, like you're looking at the future, or like you want to do anything other than when you were 18 years old. All you wanted to do is get out of the house. You wanted to move on with your life and get on with an adventure. And this is exactly where he was. He was at this one point in life where every one of us have been.
Right.
And then you take that specific moment, and he's just as he's staring at the sunset.
Yeah, but the song told
and the music
told
exactly,
you.
and one of the most iconic pieces of music ever hits with this beautiful cinematography with the dual sun. Like these are some of those reasons why this movie.
It sucked me in. And you start watching it, and you're like, if it wasn't for Harrison Ford, this movie would be shit, in my opinion. So it ended right.
But
there.
laser swords.
Oh my word!
No,
dude.
I'm coming from a perspective that you guys will never like fulfill like to be like to get you on the same board, because I've had this argument with people like trying to get them to watch Game of Thrones.
You ever think that you're wrong then?
I think
it's nobody else?
No, it's because the same thing where I feel visually this is a good movie or show. Other people are like, Game of Thrones is the gayest shit I've ever seen in my life. This is a dumb shit fucking series.
It has 30 serious plot holes in it, dude.
So it's like I can see why people don't like Star Wars, and I can see why people don't like Game of Thrones. You got to take every face value. I'm just trying to be like, why do you guys like it?
Sure.
Why do you keep fucking watching it every time you know it's just gonna disappoint you? Is it because you want to be disappointed?
No, I'm sure.
We don't know we're going to be
Are you
disappointed.
fucking
It totally equates to I'm a Cubs fan.
like? I
It's the
remember
same thing.
when MJ was over here.
Same concept as him going back to his wife. How
it
come
has
every
to
time
be.
the wife comes over, she knows she's going
A
to be
cold
disappointed,
beer-
but she
a
keeps
cold
coming
beer
back.
never broke my heart, but Star Wars and football teams
Yeah.
have. It's
No,
like
it's-
when MJ was over here, and I go, God, what was he so upset about with Star Wars? Oh, the Mandalorian. He took his helmet off. I'm like, bro, he probably took his helmet off so he can communicate. Like, why?
No,
does
it's
that
part of
fuck-
their religion, dude. You
Why
can't
does
take
that
the helmet off.
I didn't know that. And I feel like that's
You lose the ability to be a bounty hunter
And
the
I feel
second
like-
that helmet comes off.
Well, and we
forever.
and that's where
You
we
never get
relate
it
that
back.
to.
I feel like that's the
Halo.
audience
Like,
Disney and sports
Yeah.
teams trying
They
to
should have never
attract-
done that
No.
shit.
They're trying to
we should
attract
have not
the
known who
people-
played Master Chief, like Pablo Schreiber. At least if you're, you know what, if you're gonna take the helmet off, I'm even okay with it.
Yeah.
Make it 2 seasons. Make it something in there. Mandalorian's a little bit different, but
Well-
as for Master Chief, I get it because everyone wants to see the sex symbol and all this bullshit.
largely the issue though is that these fucking writers and these people that
trying
direct
to make
these films,
tickets.
not only that, but like they also self-admit that they've never
Don't
played the
truly
game.
understand
They've never
source
played the
material.
game. They never, and these fucking people, man, like the people making comic book movies, they're like, yeah, I don't even know who the fucking Punisher is.
Right.
Yeah, but how about this? If I could tell
Okay.
you, if I made the Mandalorian, or
Here's $200 million,
not the
dude.
Mandalorian,
Fuck around, I guess, and just figure out a movie.
the Mandalorian. And I told you Pascal was
do
going
the
to be
same.
in it, and I could only get 10. I could only generate $1 million because only Star Wars fans will come watch this. But however, if I take his helmet off and attract all these other people, same thing like what sports leagues do,
It's still a business.
and I can make $1 billion on it. I'm taking his fucking helmet off.
Yeah, it's a business.
Not when
I
it
don't-
not
because
when
I-
it retcons your
because I already
entire.
know-
Not
I
when it
already-
retcons your entire 55
I already
years
know
of fucking.
you fucking
Oh, look,
Star
it's still a
Wars- you
business,
Star
but at the same
Wars
time,
nerds are gonna come
you don't
see
shoot
it.
yourself in the foot. You don't,
Exactly.
You don't piss off your long.
Stand on ceremony
And
here,
I would
man.
say when the Mandalorian does take his helmet off, I can kind of give in to the episode of why he did it.
It's warranted.
Yeah, it's not like a
I
just.
haven't- I
It's
don't
not like, you
know.
know what, dude, give me that Gatorade. God,
He's
this
a-
helmet sucks.
so how
I
did you
wouldn't-
feel?
I wouldn't have
Joe,
even known it was a big deal unless the series describes it being.
so
a big
Joe, how
deal.
did you feel about
Like,
Snow
he's
White?
just fucking-
How do you
I
feel
haven't
about Snow White?
I haven't seen it yet, but I would watch it. I mean, I haven't seen Snow White yet. to be
So the
honest. I do-
character canonically is described with fair skin, and you're just
Oh,
cool. You're cool
oh.
with that. Then it could be.
like
be a Polynesian person, and it doesn't bother you.
so it's like saying like, hey,
The fucking titular line of it is fuck it. The line is Snow White. The name.
I get you. I understand why that's upsetting because like
You don't want Turd Brown?
it's definitely it's the same thing. That's like when like people read the book and then they go see the movie and it's like that's not what they look like. It's like, well, you had in your imagination based off the author's description on what said person was going to look
No,
like.
but when the author comes out though and goes,
Do you
"That's
know how
not what
hard
they
it
look
is?
like."
Do you know how hard it is to find 7 dwarves that can act? It'd probably be fucking hard as fuck.
No.
Nobody's
No.
No.
So,
No, I just heard
false.
Brad Williams go off like how
Oh,
he
he
was
snapped.
He was upset. He's like, I want to be asked
Brad
to do
Williams?
this.
Who?
Yeah, the comedian.
I don't know who that is.